Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to another session of Real Talk with Tammi B and Company. And as always, I am excited to come before you with my panelists and my guests. And before I get started, I just want to ask in advance, if you are not a part of our family, I invite you to click the subscribe button to join us as we are here every week at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Also, if you have a story to tell or a business to talk about, please email me at that'sthewoman@gmail.com for consideration to be on the platform. And so, before I introduce my guest of the hour, I have my girl Cola back here with me. Hey, Cola.
Hey, everybody. Hello. I hope everybody is doing well. Very interested in our topic for today. I feel like we are going to learn a lot. And I feel like it's perfect for the era that we're in because people are moving to natural medicine. So I'm really excited to see what we can find out today.
I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree. He sent me some information that I got to sit down and put in place because I have been struggling with low low energy. So I am part of the low E family. So so I'm excited to hear what he has to say as well. And speaking of who he is, so my guest of the hour, his name is Yizzreal Yehudah. He'll correct me if I said that wrong. He has dedicated his life to helping heal and uplift the HUE men race. It shows in his infamous quote, "We must be part of the solution and not the problem." Yiz is a master herbalist, nutritive consultant, and specializes in holistic mental health solutions and educates on womb reproductive health and skincare. He spreads his unique wisdom on his social media platforms such as TikTok, IG, Facebook, Clubhouse, and Bigo. And let me tell you, he has over 300,000 followers. So I am sure that Mr. Yizzreal has a wealth of information to share with us. And just a real quick, first of all, welcome, Yizzreal.
Peace, soul, life, protection. Thank you so much for having me. We in the building, so make sure y'all tap in.
Yes, thank you for being here. And I have to add, so real quick, and I see my man Shelly has joined. Hey, Shelly.
What's going on, Shelly?
Hey, what's happening? What's happening, Cola?
Shelly, listen, before I go to what I was getting ready to say, I told Cola I wanted you here because you two, the last couple of weeks, have been like my children. You were antagonizing her on the platform the week before, and last week she in Florida on the chat antagonizing you. So I was like, them two, I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, so let me tell you guys real quick how I met Yizzreal. I was in Tampa back in Orlando. Tampa back in October. And I was in Ybor City with some friends. And he walked up to me and he's just as sweet as he can be. He's like, "You look really nice. I just want to give you that compliment. But I want to know what's going on in your mind." And I said, here like,
that sounds like a pickup line to me. I'm sorry.
No, but and it was, but for me, a person like me, that's a great pickup line. Because if you go mental, you gonna get my attention.
That sounds like a 2025 pimp to me.
Whoa.
Nah, none of that.
Hey, get used to her. That's how she does it.
But that sounds like a pickup line.
And that's fair. That's fair. And it very well could have been. But again, it was just like I'm gonna tell you, it was good for a mental health advocate, right? So when he said it, I thought about it. I was like, okay. So we exchanged numbers, and it took us probably about 2 months to have a conversation. And so we revisited that, and I was like, what did you see to make you say you want to know what's going on in my mind? And he said he saw my light. In fact, I want to say you said you saw an orange light. Am I correct?
Yeah. Probably yellow. Yellow represents
one of those lights. Yeah. He said he saw my light. And I said that to say, like last week, we were having the talk on the law of detachment, which Cola, I'm going to give you an opportunity to see if you want to have anything to say on that before we dig in here. Which, we are light force beings. And so our chakras, when they're open, they're shining. And people who are in tune that has, that if we're all in tune, we could see it, but by design, we're not in tune, but that's another conversation. But, so I just felt honored that like him seeing my light, seeing me, that was nice. So if it was a pickup line, Cola, it was a great one. So before we give him the floor, I do also, Tevin, I'm sorry. Somebody in the chat say Cola funny. Cola, you funny. Okay, so and we're in Black History Month, in the month of February. Although when my chat said last week, like, we should cancel Black History Month, and when I asked the why, they was like, because every day should be Black History. So, but I wanted to start with a little unknown. I mean, it's known, but not as popularized as others. So did you know that before Rosa Parks became a symbol of the Montgomery boycott, a 15-year-old named Claudette Colvin refused to give up her seat on a bus in Montgomery, Alabama in 1955. This act of defiance predated Rosa's famous stand and played a significant role in the rapid increase of the civil rights movement. And so a lot of people don't know that. So therefore, and some do, but it's Black History Month. So I just want to talk about these things. And then Lucy Stanton became the first Black woman to earn a 4-year college degree after graduating with a literary degree from Oberlin College in 1850. This accomplishment marked a significant milestone for Black women's access to higher education. So shout out to Miss Lucy. Oh, and somebody put in the chat, but she was pregnant and they didn't think it was a good image.
For that time, I can see that.
Okay. Well, see, this is what I like, knowledge that's being shared. Okay, so before I bring up a couple topics to talk about, Miss Cola, I know you didn't get to hear all of the law of detachment, but I know you put some comments in the chat last week talking about the laws are in the Bible and things like that. Is there anything that you want to add since you wasn't here? And we love the value that you add. So I wanted to give you an opportunity to speak on that topic if you like, because I know you're first in that.
I just wanted to reiterate that the laws that she was talking about, that the universal laws, they are in the Bible. They are, and not just in the Bible, but they're in most major religions. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so, we were talking about the things that we think on, the things that we focus on, and how they can shape and form us. I pointed out a scripture in the Bible last week: as a man thinketh, so he is. That is certainly in the Bible. And the Bible talks about planting seed all day long. How do you plant seed? You plant seed first with your thought. Your thought is planting the seed that the Bible talks about. The Bible uses constant stories on seed planting and constant stories on the fruit of your tree. The fruit is are the manifestations of your work all through the Bible. So She's absolutely right. The universal laws are in the Bible. And then, taking a life, and that should, even the 10 commandments, although we know that there are more than 10 commandments. Okay. So for those who say there's 100 and some commandments, there are, but the major ones that are in the major ones that we highlight in the Bible, because a lot of them are there, but the main ones that we highlight, those are some of the universal laws.
Right.
Universal laws. So if you just read with an open mind and not with a religious mind, you can find those universal laws in the Bible. It's only what it is a spiritual. It gives us. It teaches us how to live in peace amongst humanity. That's really how humanity can move forward. That's, to me.
And no, that you're right.
That's what the universal laws are about.
And that's awesome.
How we can be better as people, how we can create, how we are powerful individuals, because God in the beginning was the Word. And in the beginning of our creation is the Word. Well, it's the thought and then the Word. So, and even with God was the thought and then He spoke it. So, or he or she, however you want to put it, and it goes the same for us. So I just wanted to reiterate several examples like I just gave of the universal laws being written down in the Bible.
Amen.
It's a tool, a way of life, a principled way of life.
Nice. Yizzreal, do you want to chime in on that? Because I know you wasn't here last week, so I'm going to give you an opportunity to chime in.
Yeah, that's a great concept and topic to talk about. In Hebrews chapter 8, it tells about he written the laws in our mind and written it in our heart. So even though the scripture says the heart is deceitful above all things, who can know it? It's our creator that searches the heart. I view things like these laws and commandments, it's all within me. Like the kingdom is within me. So it's up to me. And the scriptures also says, choose life that you and your seed may live. And he said, you will do works greater than I. So ever since I was growing up, I seen things. I seen my family members transition left to right. My grandma had diabetes. My uncle had liver C. And then I was back and forth to the funerals, back and forth to the hospital. And I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on within my family that's causing all these things right here? Is it some generational curses that's happening? Is it some laws that we're breaking? What can I do as myself to be a part of the solution and be that light amongst my family? So I started researching things. I ran into, like Magic Johnson. I heard he cured himself from AIDS. And then I ran into Dr. Lena Africa, Dr. Sabi, Dr. Yakia Waken, Dr. G. Morrison. And it intrigued me as a young man when I was growing up to start do some, before me and we got on this live, me and Cola was talking about troubleshooting and engineering. We need to do some troubleshooting to find the root cause of why our people are going through these things. There's some laws that we break, and we know he put the laws in our mind. So I view at the time what was going on, diabetes, which is a pancreas issue due to the adrenal glands not producing or sending enough melanin neurotransmitters. And I get into all the emotions that we go through that cause a lot of health issues. So when I tapped into it and I got certified and I started working with my first clients from stage 4 breast cancer, it took like 6 weeks to heal. I noticed that it's not just something that's physical. It's not just a diet. Healing is a lifestyle. So when I look into diabetes, cancer, lupus, all these different so-called diseases, it's really all the same thing. They just manifest itself differently. It's either going to be a bacteria that's going to affect the blood or a so-called virus that's going to affect the lymphatic system. So if we put the laws in our mind, once we heal the mind, the body will follow. It's all controlled through my nervous system. So my goal is to set my environment in success to heal. I can't really heal if I'm in an environment where people eating fried chicken and Fruit Loops and I'm trying to heal and they smoking all in my face. I can't do that. I need to be in an environment where the refrigerator is set up for me to heal. The cabinets are set up for me to heal. Everything is peace and serenity. So going back to the laws are in our mind. In Proverbs 6:23, it says, for the commandment is a light and the law, no, for the commandment is a lamp and the law is light, and reproof of instructions are the way of life. We have some instructions on this earth. We have a mission to do. So growing up, I knew that mission that I had within me, and I want to spread that all throughout the world. We can do it together.
Oh, man.
So let me ask you this, Yizzreal. Your approach, is it by way of, do you use the Eastern approach by Chi, or what, or the African approach? What is your approach to healing.
You know what's amazing? All of that to me is the same thing. For example, Hindus say they're healing the chakras. When you get into the Bible, it's 7 seals or the 7 churches or the 7 temples. And when you get into African spirituality, they call it the 7 light code vortexes. It's all the same thing, representing the 7 organs that sit underneath your central nervous system. So if I'm in fear, I know that's an adrenal issue, right? Fear is an adrenal issue. So your ancestors, through their kidneys, that's where they pass all the information through, like being robbed, being lynched, being in an abusive relationship. Something happened to you before you were 17 years old. You never told anybody about it. Or you might have mother issues when your mom don't get along. All these issues, this trauma, these emotions has been battered on our people, and it's been causing adrenal fatigue. So once you cleanse the kidneys, the fear will go away because it's filtrated through the filtering system, which is the kidneys.
So are we talking about now cellular memory?
Cellular memory and meridian pathways.
It is out. Wow.
It is what?
Yes,
What did you say,
beautiful
Cola?
Connected. It's connected. He's talking about. He says, what pathways did you say? Meridian pathways.
Meridian pathways.
Meridian pathways.
Eastern, and then he mentioned, what was the other one?
Meridian pathways.
Meridian pathways, and then we talked about cellular memory, which is recently the most scientific ways of natural healing. So science is catching up.
Listen, we've been doing this for a long time. I mean, there's a lot of copycats out here. But once I turn my camera around and show you the basics and we see the blueprint, we're gonna see how simple it is. Again, all these different terms from Hinduism to African spirituality to 7 seals, 7 chakras. I'm gonna show you how it's all the same thing, and I'm gonna put it down and make it make sense, pretty much.
Let's go.
Man, I'm ready. Okay, you know what, go. I had some current events that I wanted to talk about, but he already done got us pulled in.
Let me say something else for those. And if I'm translating incorrectly, Yizzreal, please correct me on that. But you're also memory. You're talking about cellular memory from the generational line, from one generation to the next, to the next, to the next. We are remembering in the new generations, the lynchings, the pain, the this, the that from our history and from our ancestors. So when one generation dies out, that information doesn't die out with it. It's again reproduced through us by way of cellular memory. Correct? Okay.
Absolutely. That's why it's up to us when we come together to talk about solutions that can help get our people out of the condition we're in today, to get balance within ourselves so we can bring balance in the world. But the first step is to cleanse. We have to go through a cleansing process. A lot of things happened to us growing up. A lot of people went through some things. All this stuff has to be cleansed out. And we're going to learn that healing from spiritual and emotional trauma, you have to cleanse the blood. You have to get the kidneys to filter them out. And that's what we'll be educating on in the future.
Take off. Yizzreal, take off.
So that equals generational curses.
Absolutely. So y'all ready? I'm going to show you how we can work together. Let's work together.
We ready.
So
if we have time at the end, we'll talk about the other stuff, but take off.
All right. So over the years, we have been going through a lot of things dealing with our people. 30 to 45% of so-called African Americans are misdiagnosed and treated for things they don't even have. So it's up to us to come together. We talk about solutions. So what I want to do right now, I'm going to flip my camera if I can. I hope I can flip it. Y'all can show them. I'm trying to flip this camera. Speaker, slider, speaker. I don't know how I need to flip this camera so I can show y'all. How y'all flip the camera on y'all end?
That little reverse thing on the camera area. Oh, but you on the app. You on the app. So let's hope.
Oh, I probably can't do it.
Is this something you can email to me real quick and I can share it?
Let me see something. Well, I'm just going to explain it. I'll just explain it.
Well, I was wondering if he have access to the share. Does he have access to share?
Yeah. Do you have that? You should be able to.
View. I see this button right here. That's not it. That says leave. That's not it. I don't think I got that. I'm just going
for a second, turn the camera and let us see what you're getting ready to talk about.
I'm just going to show you what I did before. I can just show you a little. Hopefully y'all can see it because it's No, y'all ain't gonna be able to see it. So I'm just gonna
No.
explain it. I'm gonna explain it.
Okay, go ahead.
So I'm gonna break this down into a category, right?
Okay, hold on, y'all.
Well,
Okay.
hold on, Yizzreal, take a picture of that and send it to me, and I can pull it up.
Well, I was gonna ask, do you need a showing of the organs? Do you need an image of organs? Is that what you need?
Yeah, that's cool.
Because I was gonna say, Tammi she should be able to look up an image of images of organs and then share them on the screen.
You know what? This picture would be perfect. Let me take this picture and send it to her. It'll take 2 seconds. All right, I get it over here, right here, here. Tammy. All right, about to send a picture right now.
Okay.
All right, here it is right here. It's too much light. There you go. This is just a rough draft, so let's get it.
No
All right, I'm about to
worries.
send it right now.
No worries.
All right, just sent it. So as she's pulling this up, what we're going to be aware of, again, that every so-called disease is the same thing. They just manifest itself differently. And we're going to show exactly how that's true. We're dealing with 9 different things: parasites, infections, mold, candida, yeast, acidosis, fungus, lack of energy, which correlates with ATP, which is adenosine triphosphate. You got ADP, adenosine diphosphate. You got AMP, which is adenosine monophosphate. And then you got the lack of oxygen, which is iron. And we're going to discuss the 2 main minerals that we need as so-called Black people is iron and calcium. So we're going to discuss how the minerals are so important. And we're basically going to be getting into minerals and hormones and how this correlates. And she said she had low energy levels, and we're going to figure out the root cause of why we having the low energy levels and what can increase the ATP, or what you call energy. All right. So if you look at this right here, right, there's no such thing as a so-called disease, right? These are the 9 things we're dealing with on the left, which is what? Parasites, infections, mold, candida, yeast, acidosis that's associated with the pain that you have when you have lupus or fibromyalgia, fungus, the lack of energy that correlates with ATP, ADP, and AMP, and we have the lack of oxygen. So let's view all so-called diseases as 9 different things, right? Let's replace the word disease with something called NRF1/2 pathways. The NRF1 is pretty much what you call accumulation of energy. The NRF2 is elimination and detoxification. Altogether, NRF1 and 2 pathways is the regulation of genes to proteins, is the true detoxification and elimination of the body. So what we're going to learn is you have to eliminate before you accumulate, and that's all disease talking about. We're also going to learn that the immune system doesn't exist. We're going to replace the word immune system with lymphatic system and glymphatic system that's in your brain. So this lymphatic system consists of T cells, B cells, bifidobacteria, lactobacillus bacteria. Your T cells help fight off infections, parasites, and unwanted pathogens. This is connected to your white blood count. Your B cells produce antibodies that help fight off infections, and your macrophages, they fight off what you call acidosis. Altogether, this makes up your WBC, your white blood count. And your RBC, this is where the hemoglobin is coming in. So if you look in the middle, you can zoom into the middle, to the top. Now you see how I broke this down into a few categories in my little rough drive. It says eat, emotions, exercise, sunlight, skin, and diaphragm, breath work. Now, of course, there's more like, ozone therapy, color therapy, red light therapy. I just picked a few basics to start off. So what does everybody have in common? No matter if you have lupus, diabetes, fibromyalgia, PCOS, fibroids, cyst tumors, hormonal balance, right up top, everybody got to eat, right? Everybody go through emotions. Most people don't get the proper exercise, sunlight, calisthenics, etc. Most people put bad things on their skin like Dove soap and secret deodorant that got secret chemicals in it like aluminum, right? Most people don't do diaphragm breath work, right? So these categories I put right here is the basics of how we're going to heal on the cellular level. So let's start with what we're eating. Are you eating complex proteins? Are you eating foods high in L-arginine? Are you eating synthetic estrogen, right? The complex protein consists of meat, which is flesh, dairy, bread, rice, specifically the white rice and brown rice, oatmeal, almonds, peanut butter, cashews. All these things are considered complex proteins, right? That means when you consume it, it's too heavy, right? So what's happening is when we consume that, along with foods high in L-arginine, let's say if you got a tumor, inside of a tumor, you got parasites, unwanted pathogens, blood, and lymphatic fluid. The L-arginine in avocados actually grow the tumor, right? Multiply the PCOS. grows the cyst or grows the fibroid. So it's even though avocados are good, it's just not good to eat while you're healing from certain things. So avocados used to rebuild the body, not to restore the body. So same avocados, onions, chickpeas, golden sea moss, coconut flesh. These can't be eaten if you're healing from things like, an infestation of parasites, also tumors and fibroids, etc. You teamed that up with synthetic estrogen. Your synthetic estrogen is soy, purified water, and a lot of MEDS, a lot of supplements we taking. A lot of it's full of synthetic estrogen. So what happens is when the complex proteins teams up with L-arginine, as you can see the connection in the middle, when L-arginine teams up with synthetic estrogen, it creates something called acidosis. Remember, your rice is phytic acid, right? Your beans is phytic acid. Your coffee beans is carbonic acid. Your meat is called protic carbonic acid, and they also put meat glue in it, which is transglutamate made out of pig's blood in powdered form that causes the blood to clot and the kidneys to build up metabolic waste. Your dairy is lactic acid. Oatmeal is full of phytic acid that robs your body from calcium. Oatmeal is also full of avenine that wears the lining of your intestines, causing undigested food to leak into your digestive tract into the bloodstream. So everything I'm mentioning, even garlic has a chemical in it called sulfone hydroxyl that unalives 10,000 brain cells every time you eat it. So all the foods that we thought that was healthy is actually slowing down the process of our healing. So what I did right in the middle, I got rid of them. I got rid of the complex proteins. I got rid of the L-arginine high-based foods, some of them, not all of them, and I got rid of the synthetic estrogen. Now, we know that turns into acidosis. Once it turns into acidosis, it sends unnatural signals to your glands, right? Going back to the low energy that we were talking about earlier. Hormonal issues, right? Now, you're sending a natural signal to your pituitary gland. Your pituitary gland is in control of your height, your weight, even how wet a woman gets. The pituitary gland produces hormones and it feeds your cells zinc. Zinc is like the glue fingers to the body. It keeps all the minerals together, plus for iron phosphate. Zinc creates testosterone, which helps to build cholesterol. So your pituitary gland has to feed your cells that zinc. Remember, your cells make up tissues and your tissues make up organs. You got 150 trillion cells in your body. They eat like you do, they poop like you do, they just can't get up and walk around like you do because you have to feed the cells, which will feed the tissues, which will feed the organs. You're also sending unnatural signals to your thyroid. The thyroid is in control of what? Your hormones and metabolism. It's like the gear shift to the body. The thyroid produces thyroxine and gives your cells calcium, iodine, magnesium, and phosphorus. You're sending unnatural signals to your pineal gland that correlates with your circadian rhythm. The pineal gland produces serotonin and melatonin. This is the reason why a lot of people either sleep too much or don't sleep at all. We're not getting a proper amount of rest because our circadian rhythm is thrown off. We're working crazy amount of hours, barely getting enough sleep. This is affecting the pineal gland, right? Also, your pancreas is also affected with the acidosis from the complex proteins, couple foods high in L-arginine and synthetic estrogen. Your pancreas produces insulin. Your pancreas produces more than 4,000 different metabolic enzymatic reactions, right? And the last but not least, this is what's going on. So these glands correlate with hormones and minerals, right? Pituitary gland, hormonal gland, hypothalamus gland, hormonal gland. What's the control of the pancreas? The hypothalamus gland and endocrine system. So these glands have to feed themselves. If we get rid of the problem, with what we're eating, which is the complex proteins, foods high in L-arginine and synthetic estrogen, and we become a frugivore, which you're going to learn about. A frugivore is a meal plan that consists of sometimes 90% fruit and 10% vegetables, no meat, fish, soy, dairy, and gluten. A frugivore is somebody that's highly dependent on fruits, vegetables, and nuts, just like the silverback gorilla. He's strong because he eats foods as living food. Think about it like this. How long does it take your flesh to digest? 3 to 4 days to months. How long does it take vegetables to digest? 8 hours. How long does it take green apple to digest? 30 minutes. When you juice the apple, it's 5 minutes. So obviously we know that the fruit is easier to digest for our digestive tract. So when we look at our digestive tract, a lot of times our small intestinal tract is backed up and it's full of what you would call pinworms. Our colon is full of tapeworms. So when that small intestinal tract is backed up, guess what's going to happen? Here comes your liver and kidney and gallbladder backed up. Here comes your pancreas backed up. Now everything is not flowing through this system. A lot of people, some people haven't even pooped for days. We just had a praise report of a sister that had pancreas cancer. She was fully healed less than a month. Because what we do is we focus on cleansing that small intestinal tract, cleansing the colon, and then we focus on the brain and the adrenal glands and the lymphatic system. Then after that, we get with the parasite and heavy metals. It's a combination we do to get fast results. So in conclusion, It's not just about what you eat. It's about balancing your emotions. This is why mixing out a diet. The E stands for energy, the motion stands for movement. Every time you have energy and movement, these are chemical reactions in the body. So when I'm angry, that means the chemical factor in my body is called norepinephrine. Anger is a liver issue. Once you cleanse the liver, the anger will go away. When I feel like I'm in love, that love is called oxytocin. When I feel like I'm happy or surprised, it's called epinephrine. Every emotion is a chemical hormone that's transferred to the blood, right? Cellular memory meridian pathways. Even when you exercise, it builds up uric acid, it goes to the blood. Even when you go outside and get sunlight, it penetrates to your skin, becomes a lipid-based oil, hits the liver and kidneys, then it goes straight to the blood. So if we see that all these things go to the blood, then it gets dumped off into your lymphatic system. It can either strengthen your lymphatic defense system or weaken your lymphatic defense system. Then it gets dumped off into the liver where it builds up fatty acids. Then it gets dumped off into the kidneys where it sits there and creates metabolic waste. The nephrons can't filter them out. Now it's affecting your sympathetic, parasympathetic, and intricate nervous system. So healing is simple as we're going to talk about what are you eating throughout the day for breakfast, mid-morning, lunch, mid-afternoon, and dinner. What is your emotions in your environment? Are you getting the proper exercise and sunlight? Are you still using chemical aluminum-based stuff on your skin? Even your colorful towel is full of red dye. Are we using the right toothpaste and toothbrush? Are we brushing our teeth in the sink water that's full of chemicals, such as potassium nitrate? That's what they put in firecrackers to make explosives. They also put potassium nitrate in your lunch meat. That's why it's that pink color. If it wasn't in there, it would be a gray color. Your shower water alone and the stuff you're brushing your teeth with is full of potassium hydroxide. This is the same chemical they put in inmates in death row when they unalive them in prison when they shoot up their veins. High calcium hydrated line type N is the same chemical they put on football fields and soccer fields and make lines and numbers with. This is how they raise the pH in the fake alkaline water. The sulfuric acid and nitric acid is how they lower the pH in the fake alkaline water. So all these chemicals come together and it's called purified water. The same thing you bathing in, the same thing you brushing your teeth. So even though you might have a green label toothpaste, a Romare or Black Seed toothpaste, even though you might have the bamboo toothbrush, we still got to at least get a 3 to 5 stage under sink filter, or just brush your teeth with some Crystal Geyser spring water along with your toothpaste. It's the little small details that's messing us up. Now, why did I mention toothpaste and toothbrush? My teeth is an extension of my bones and my nervous system, right? My bones correlate with B cells. Your B cells produce antibodies to fight off infections. So let's say you had a situation where you got funky breath, you got an odor issue. My tongue is an extension of my esophagus, which is connected to my gut. So if I got bad breath, I got bad gut bacteria. So brushing your teeth with the wrong toothpaste, using the sink water, all this messes with your nervous system, your bones, and creates bad gut bacteria. Remember, us as a chosen people, we are not like everybody else. Our stomach acid is not the same, right? Our stomach acid is not, it's not the same to break down all these complex proteins. So the more we keep consuming these complex proteins, all we're doing is filling up that list of who's the highest in colon cancer, who's the highest in gastrointestinal cancer. It's us. So what we're going to do is give a blueprint to talk about solutions that can help get us out of this condition. And you can go back to the normal screen. Let's give it. Ask me some questions. Like we're gonna give a real blueprint on what do we want to learn about today? What do we want to grasp? What have we seen happen to our family members over the
Listen,
years?
first of all, you just blew my mind because I'm like, what can I do? What can I eat? What can I have? But what's interesting about something that you said, I hope he don't get mad at me for saying it. Like my son is into natural stuff, my youngest son, and he has literally done research and for the last couple months been making his own deodorant and other things. And I'm like, so when I heard you say that, that's the first thing that I thought about. Cause yeah, he's been eating raw for the last almost 3 months. I'm so proud of him because he's been eating raw. He's already a vegetarian. But he's been eating raw. So some of this stuff that you're talking about, he's already implementing. So my heart is leaping over here. But so this was some good information.
This is spectacular information. And I know you don't need me to co-sign, but the reason I'm saying it is because a lot of my studies have been in science. And everything you said is, it's on point. The one thing science and medical have that we have not embarked on yet is in conjunction with the hormones and in conjunction with living a healthy lifestyle. They haven't incorporated the emotional part, and they haven't incorporated the foods. But and this is this is real holistic medicine. What we're talking about right now, what you just explained, is real holistic. Medical like to say that they deal with healing in a holistic fashion, but they don't.
They don't.
They're missing the emotional component, and they're missing the foods, the proper foods and the nutrition that we should be eating. But this right here was full circle. This is awesome information. I'm really excited to learn more. This is
well, I have a question, or in the chat, so we can learn a little bit more right now. So, speak about the difference between L-arginine and L-lysine, and if you should eliminate L-arginine as a whole or balance it.
Gotcha. So L-arginine is a cellular proliferator. L-lysine is a cellular degenerator. This goes back to eliminating before you accumulate. So I'll give you an example. Let's say a woman is dealing with PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, right? Or she's dealing with a fibroid, or she's dealing with a cyst. Inside a woman's reproductive system, there's a cyst that grows every month. It's called a corpus luteum, right? So either breaks down in the baby or you bleed it out through your menstrual. So what happens is when you have PCOS, fibroid, cyst, or tumors, we got to figure out what is inside of a cyst, what is inside of a tumor. Got parasites, unwanted pathogens, blood, and lymphatic fluid. So if I have a client and I know she's dealing with that, it wouldn't be wise for me to give her avocados, because avocados is full of L-arginine. That's a cellular proliferator that's just going to grow the tumor. If I wanted to grow my hair, what am I going to use? Avocado oil, some botana oil, horsetail, that's used to grow the hair. So I need something called astringent fruits. Seeded grapes cleanses the blood and get the kidneys to filter. Even the skin of the seeded grapes is called tannins. When you consume it, it stimulates the nervous system while promoting lymphatic movement and get the kidneys to filter out the metabolic waste. So I need things like pomegranate that unalives intestinal worms, and pomegranates is full of iron. My berry family, that's going to oxygenate and protect my cells. The papaya seeds, that's for parasites, right? So when the lemon, the green apple, the blueberry, the key lime, these are called astringent fruits that's going to detoxify and shrink the tumor, shrink the fibroid, shrink the cyst. So that's the reason why we have to look more to astringent fruits, antioxidants, in order for that tumor or that cyst to shrink. But again, just to answer the question, L-arginine is that cellular proliferator. It's just going to grow things, and it's going to feed parasites. I'll give you an example. Autism was coined in 1911 by Eugene Bueller. In the 1930s, that's when they introduced ethyl mercury to the vaccines. In the 1940s is when we had our first case of autism. If you go on Google and type in what parasite is autism, it's going to say toxoplasma parasite. T. Gandhi. The word toxo means poison. The word plasma means blood. So this is an actual parasite that's inside of the body, along with schizophrenia, along with bipolar, even with sickle cell anemia. That's called a Philosporium plasmodium parasite. So we getting all these blood transfusions and stuff, but we're not getting rid of the problem. The problem is the parasites, the heavy metals, the infections that's in our body. Once we get rid of that problem, then it's going to get dumped off into the lymphatic system. We need lymphatic cleansing herbs, lymphatic cleansing fruits. Then it's going to get dumped off into the liver. Let's cleanse the liver and gallbladder. And it's going to dump off into the kidneys, where it filters all out, bada bing, bada boom. No more health issues. That's just how it works.
Wow. And you know what's interesting about you saying that? My son and I just did a 20-day detox, and one of the supplements we took was chelator, which is a heavy metal detox. So and we do that every year, and a lot of people don't even think about the heavy metal that's actually in their system. So that's big. So I want to add what is on the comment. I'm gonna pop it up. They put, I never brush my teeth with tap water, nor do I cook with tap water. The chloramine gas in water is a killer. No hot steamy showers with doors closed. Then there's another question. What's personal preference for lymphatic system?
What's a
Cleanse.
personal preference for
lymphatic system cleanse? Yes.
One of my favorite herbs for the lymphatic system is called marshmallow root. Marshmallow root is extremely good for the lymphatic system. Yellow dock and hydrangea root, that pulls out all the lymph and all the toxins in the body. I love to add quassia wood chips. That's good for addiction. So while you're healing and you feel like, you know, it's 9 o'clock, man, I want some Twinkies, some Taco Bell. The quassia wood chips is for addiction. So when I add all these things together and the ratio them out, and I put these things together, along with keeping a frugal lifestyle, this is how you heal on the cellular level. Again, it's not just a diet. So healing is cleansing the skin, the mucosal membrane, flushing the lymphatic system, and getting the kidneys to filter out the metabolic waste. Every time you put some on your skin, it goes to the blood, get dumped off into your lymphatic system. Your emotions go to the blood, dump off into your lymphatic system. And a lot of times they stay there. For example, a lot of women get a urinary tract infection. They go to the doctor, they get an antibiotic pill. After that, they get a yeast infection. So why you give me something when I'm trying to get rid of something? So think about it. The word anti means against. The word bio means life. Antibiotics is against life. Biology is the study of living organisms. Biochemistry is the study of organic chemistry and living organisms. So why you give me something that's going to create something else? This is not meant for us, because all them antibiotics are made out of mold and fungus. Guess what a mold and fungus lays at? In your lymphatic system. Right now, it's going to weaken your T cells. What are those used to fight off? Parasites, infections, unwanted pathogens. It's going to weaken your B cells that produce antibodies that fight off infections. It's going to weaken the macrophages that fight off the acidosis when you have the lupus and the fibromyalgia. They say lupus is when the immune system is attacking itself. It has nothing to do with what lupus is. Lupus is when the macrophages cannot fight off the acidosis that's surrounding the nerve, right? A fibromyalgia, let's break down the word. The word fibro means tissue. The word myalgia means pain. All fibromyalgia is pain in a deep connected tissue. That pain comes from acidosis, the beef hot dogs, the Tootsie Rolls. When you go to Breast Cancer March, what do we see? What are the Breast Cancer March? What are they eating at the Breast Cancer March? What are you eating at the hospital? What you eat for your birthday? What you eat for Halloween? Or what you eat for Super Bowl Sunday? We eat this, and this is the reason why we're the highest in every so-called disease.
Okay, so this is a lot of information, and I know a lot of this terminology is new to a lot of people, so it could sound like a bunch of scrambling. How do we start to live a healthy lifestyle? What do we first need to start with? We talked about multiple systems, emotional system, the cellular system. We talked about I was gonna say the organs, but they are cells, like you said. But we talked about a lot of systems. Where do we start? Where's the most important place to start?
I would say start with elimination. Let's go in the kitchen. Let's go in the refrigerators. Let's start removing some stuff and replacing some stuff. You know the cheese ain't supposed to be in there. Come on now. You know the M&Ms ain't supposed to be in the cabinets. You know the little Ritz crackers, they ain't supposed to be in there either. And you know we like to drink coffee. Okay, look into mushroom coffee. Look at the dandelion root coffee. Replace the coffee with that. You know that crash you're feeling when you're drinking coffee? That crash is your pineal gland and your pituitary gland being robbed for minerals. That's messing up with your circadian rhythm. So I would say the first step is elimination. That's what I did. I told myself, after this week, I'm done eating Taco Bell. Next week, I'm done eating Checkers. Way back in the day before I got into plant-based. And I wanted to challenge myself, and it actually worked. So after that week, never went back to Checkers. After that week, never went back to McDonald's. And then I started cooking my own stuff. I stopped using certain things like garlic and and I started using thyme. I started using sage and cayenne pepper and Celtic sea salt. I started using the right things in my foods, and I started eating raw. You know, when you eat raw, you're getting the bioflavonoids, all the minerals are coming in. So basically, to answer your question, the first thing we need to do is elimination. Who grew up on oatmeal? Who grew up on almonds? Who grew up on cashews? What kind of water do you drink? Let's do the basics first. Let's attack the house. That's the first thing we need to do. If the body is a temple, let's go in the house and get rid of the Febreze, the Glade plugins, the smelly Glade trash bags. All the stuff got to go.
What about the Victoria's Secret's lotion and body spray and all that good stuff?
It's a secret about Victoria's Secret, and that's called aluminum. And aluminum, when you breathe it in or put it on your skin, it weakens the hydrochloric acid in your stomach, which allows parasites to flow past the blood-brain barrier to rob you for minerals. That's the secret about Victoria's Secret.
And is that with most fragrances?
All Victoria's Secret. Remember, if our Bath and Body Works, we need to go plant-based essential oils. That's what we need.
Eucalyptus, stuff like that. I mean,
yeah, eucalyptus is good. But when you read them ingredients, is it only eucalyptus in my? We gotta read them ingredients. Let's see if it's only eucalyptus in there.
Yeah, of course, reading the ingredients. Okay, so everybody get y'all's pens out. He is mentioning pens and paper. He's mentioning things that we should first start with. And the first thing he said is to start by eliminating things from our kitchen cabinets. Which is, and could you explain why Ritz crackers?
Oh, have you read the ingredients? Let's see what the ingredients is in this thing. Well, we know what salt does to the body, right?
Okay.
Regular salt, hypertension, you know what I mean? It's gonna raise all type of things. Go ahead.
But that would be too much. The body needs, the body needs salt.
What type of salt? The body needs sugar, but what type of sugar?
You're right. The natural sugar. Natural sugars.
Yeah.
Not white sugar.
So I get my salt from celery salt. I get my salt from kelp salt, KELP. I get my salt from dose, DULSE, dose salt, right? So this is where I get my and Celtic sea salt for hydration. So this is where my salt is coming in from. I don't want that salt with the lady with the umbrella on it. That's gonna cause all type of issues. Same thing with sugar. They say, oh, I got diabetes. My doctor told me not to eat any sugar. Your DNA is made out of sugar. It's made up out of nucleotides and stuck together by phosphate groups. Phosphate is a sugar. Adenine, thymine, cytosine, guanine. What type of sugar should we be consuming? Is it monosaccharide sugars, disaccharide sugars, or polysaccharide sugars? Your monosaccharide sugars means one, and that comes from what? It comes from fructose from the fruit, glucose from the vegetables, galactose from your mother's breast milk. That all makes up monosaccharides, which is the simplest form of sugar. It's easy for my digestive tract to digest. The disaccharide sugars is the reason why we're dying. Disaccharide, your Twinkies, Halloween candy, all that stuff is sucrose, maltose, pentose, dextrose, and it's the same thing that's inside of Ensure, which they serve you and you know where.
Oh, okay. So hold on real quick, Cola. Okay, so the question kind of was asked, what about dry skin brushing for lymphatic system?
Dry skin brushing is amazing. But remember, when you talk about skin, it's a combination of things. When is the last time you changed your shower filter? Everybody got dry skin and I got all this. When is the last time you changed your shower filter? Because if you don't, I'm telling you right now, we bathe in a lot of chemicals, right? My brother used to, he worked at a water treatment plant for 13 years. He was a Class C manager. So I got the intake look on exactly all the chemicals we bathe in every day. So long story short, go to Lowe's or Home Depot. I want you to get this Sprite Slim-Line shower filter right here. Change your shower filter every 6 months, right? That way your plant-based soap can complement what your clean water, and you can do the dry skin brushing. And of course, get rid of that towel with all them dye colors on it. Get 100% white or linen towels. And for the woman, do not wear bras with metal in it because the metal is nickel. It absorbs to your bloodstream and feeds the parasites. And a lot of women are wearing the tight bras and wonder, why do I have a lump on my breast? Why would I put this secret deodorant under my arm? I see a lump. Why is my breast feeling heavier? All this is because these aluminum-based deodorants, also the tight bras and the metal stuff, metal in the bras.
Okay, that's a lot. Process that, ladies. But this next question: are seeded grapes still good to eat or they aren't shown as organic by the label?
That's a great question.
You have some organic grapes that don't have seeds. So
I got you. So check this out. When you get seeded grapes, you're not going to find it with the number 9 in the front and 5 number. You're not going to find it. You're going to find 4 numbers on it. The only thing you need to look at when you get seeded grapes, the bag cannot say treated with sulfur dioxide. As long as it doesn't say treated with sulfur dioxide, you're good on the bag.
Even without seeds?
If times is rough and you're trying to heal, get organic seeded grapes. But in reality, plan A is the red globe seeded grapes. That's what we need. I don't do organic seeded grapes because I'm in Florida. We got seeded grapes by the buckload. So, but again, if times is rough and you're in an area where ain't no seeded grapes is around, do the organic seeded grapes until the meantime till you get some seeded grapes.
Okay, let me ask you this. I'm sorry, Tammy. Did you have something else?
I do, but go ahead. Well, because this was more like a comment, but I'm doing something because like YouTube, I mean, this isn't showing the comment, so go for it.
Okay, so you gave us the first thing we should do. Go and clean out our cabinets. And we all pretty much know what's healthy and what's not. And if not, we can go online and see, right? Okay, what would be the second thing, the second most important thing we can do to lead to a healthy lifestyle?
After we clean out the cabinets, etc., we need to balance our emotions. It has to be done. In order for you to heal from spiritual and emotional trauma, you have to cleanse the blood and you have to get the kidneys a filter. So if I have anxiety, anxiety is a panic attack due to your thyroid and your adrenal glands being fatigued. Anxiety is dehydration and the lack of minerals. When I have sadness and grief, that affects my heart and kidneys. You know what I mean? It speeds up the sinusation of the heart. The stress raises cortisol, which raises blood pressure. And a lot of times when we see, let's say you've been with your partner for 45 years and they unalive. A lot of statistics show that the partner unalives a little bit after that. That's because of the stress raising cortisol, and that sadness is affecting the heart. So what can affect you spiritually is affecting you physically. So every emotion that I'm going through is correlate with something that's going on deep within us. So we have to heal from spiritual emotional trauma. Again, when you're around narcissistic people, you're in a relationship that you don't want to be in. A lot of the times we don't take the time to love ourselves, because love is within and the kingdom is within. So we have to do something called heal from the spiritual and emotional trauma by learning a few techniques. I know it might sound crazy, but the first step is to cleanse the blood when it comes to, because again, what you eat is transferred to the blood. Your emotions is chemical hormones transferred to the blood. You putting Dove soap on your skin, it's going right through your skin, becoming a part of the bloodstream. Then it's dumped off into your lymphatic system, where it weakens the T cells, B cells, macrophages, bifidobacteria.
But it makes so much sense because blood is the source of life. It is the source of life. It flows through every single organ in the body. It carries our oxygen throughout the body, through everything. So if the blood is tainted, it's going to affect the body. If the blood is tainted, it has no choice but to infect the body, because blood is the life. It's the source of the body. So you are absolutely right. And I want to point out too that what he is talking about, I'm sure you guys have figured it out, but it's mind, body, and soul all together. Mind, body, and soul all together creates that healthy being that we are trying to get to.
Nice. And so before I read this, and I really want to read this one here, that's in the chat. For the Dove soap users such as myself, what would you what you saying me? So what would you recommend? And actually, so I do also have seaweed soap. I do like, but I ain't gonna lie, that was more so for shallow trying to clear up cellulite. But would that kind of become a everyday thing? Because even with black soap, I have to be careful because there's a certain part of my body that don't like black soap. So what soaps would you recommend in replacement of Dove?
Okay, plant-based, vegan, cruelty-free soap. That's all we need to do. When you turn that bottle around of your plant-based soap, you need to be able to pronounce all them words, and it need to be a paragraph this short. It shouldn't be. If it's this long, just put it back on the shelf.
What about Castile soap? In
you know what? I mix Castile soap with like Method soap or something like that, because Castile soap dries your skin out a lot. So you have to mix it with others like plant-based soap to make it be. That's what I do.
Okay. All right, Cola. I definitely want to ask this question or read this comment that's in the chat. I was diagnosed with herpes 4 years ago. I lived in pain with the knowledge that I wasn't going to ever be well again. I contacted so many herbal doctors on this issue and wasted a large sum of money, but my condition never got better. I was determined to get my life back. So one day I saw Mr. Morrison Hansen post on Dr. and I cannot pronounce this word, Ehiaguna. I'm going to say Iaguna saved him from herpes with herbal medicine. I contacted Dr. Iguna on his email, driguna@gmail.com. We spoke on the issue. I told him all that I went through, and he told me not to worry, that everything will be fine. Again, so he prepared the medicine and sent it to me and told me how to use it. After 14 days of usage, I went to the doctor for the test. The result was negative. Am the happiest woman on earth thanks to Dr. Iaguna. God bless you. And then they put his contact information in the thing. So that, thank you so much for sharing that, because that's powerful. It's just like, even, what I use to advertise this, because talk about Dr. Sabi. Dr. Sabi, we can cure AIDS, we can cure HIV, diabetes, we can cure. You just said you had a lady cure of pancreas cancer. It's the cures are there, but we got to know. That's what this is about, the knowing, and also you got to believe. Any questions or comments?
I want to add another thing. If you go on my Instagram, it's Yizzreal. I have a lot of before and after diagnostic sheets, so I have a lot of HSV2 clients. This client was at a 15.70 viral load, and you see it went to a negative in 1 month. You go on my Instagram, you'll see everything. Most HIV healed in a month, HSV2 healed in a month. It took about a month for these things to heal.
Let me ask you, is it actually healed, or is the viral load just undetected?
So you see the viral load right here? I can't, because so the viral load is at a 15.70 and it went to a negative in less than a month. This is a negative. Same thing with HIV, etc.
Okay.
So you talk about, sorry, Tammy, go ahead.
Okay. Is there such a thing as doing a blood and heavy metal cleanse for too long?
Yeah, you don't want to see. The thing is, it's a sequence, and I go by the client symptoms, and I also get the blood work, the urinalysis, the CBC blood panel, comprehensive metabolic panel. I get the blood work first to see where they at. So yeah, it is such thing as doing the blood cleanse and lymphatic cleanse for too long. I start off with cleansing the gut, then I go into the brain, nerve, and adrenal glands, and then I go into the parasite and heavy metal cleansing, and that's how I get a lot of fast results. But again, it depends on what client I'm dealing with. Some people, their colon very backed up, so we got to focus on that first. Some people, their colon might be empty. Everything might be good with their digestion, but they have absorption issues, or they might have utilization issues, or they might have elimination issues. So it all depends on what client it is.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you talked about cleansing the blood as the second best thing we can do. How can we go about cleansing the blood?
That's like we talked about before. Cleanse the skin, get rid of that Dove soap, change that shower filter, get rid of that colorful towel, get 100% cotton white linen towel. Focus on skincare when it comes to the blood. This is always out the picture. Nobody ever talks about this. That skincare, it goes straight to the blood. Again, seeded grapes cleanses the blood. You got blood cleansing herbs, blood root. That's a blood cleansing herb. Plantain leaf, sarsaparilla. This all cleanses the blood, stuff like that.
Okay. And I'm going down. What's the third next thing we should do? Real talk. We got the first, second, and third. What do we need to do after that?
After that, again, so remember, it's what you eat, balancing your emotions, getting the proper exercise and sunlight. You got to get the lymphatic system moving. Ain't no point of sitting here eating all the stuff and you just sitting on the couch eating. You got to get up and get your body moving. Go outside and get some sunlight, right? The sunlight is for vitamin D. It is for vitamin B, right? It also, where do we get vitamin D from? Figs, stinging nettle, that's a herb, and mushrooms. It's not just the sun. So if you incorporate all these things, that's where we get vitamin D. We got to learn the basic essentials of where we get minerals from. The word mineral means from the light above. That's where we come from. Vitamin A is for the retina. Where am I getting vitamin A from? I'm not jumping to a pill. I'm going to the cantaloupe family. I'm going to the papaya family. I'm going to the fruits that's high in vitamin A. Same thing with vitamin B for the berries. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so what are the things what are the most dangerous things that we're doing to ourselves and we don't even know?
Following traditions. For example, Anna Britt. That was a white tea lady that created one of the first food pyramid charts. She said it was okay to eat these per servings, the bread, the dairy, the all these cereals with heavy metals in it, and trisodium phosphate, which is a paint cleaner, and the heavy metals. So Anna Britt, along with her colleagues, has put programming in our brain that when I first wake up, I need eggs, bacon, grits, and some milk or some orange juice with a whole bunch of stuff in it. Toast. So now we got to change the breakfast first. What are we eating for breakfast? We already know that got to change. What I eat: seeded grapes, blueberries, pomegranates. I do orange juice and tangerine juice freshly squeezed. The reason why I do tangerine juice because it helps you absorb minerals quicker. So I use tangerines like an absorber. I use orange juice, of course, for vitamin C. I do the pomegranates to get rid of intestinal worms, and it's full of iron. I do seeded grapes to cleanse the blood in the kidneys. It's going to help balance my emotions throughout the day. And I do blueberries to oxygenate and protect my cells. So I do a breakfast that makes sense. Now, let's say, okay, breakfast is done. I'm hungry, man. I'm tired. What am I going to eat? Okay, that's where you go into the vegetable family because vegetables rebuild the body. So I'm able to rebuild arugula, baby spinach, dino kale. Get into your mushroom family, red quinoa, red lentil. Maca root helps rebuild the body. Baby banana helps rebuild the body. Bamboo shoots, the same thing the silverback gorilla eats, helps rebuild the body. You know what I'm saying?
It's so interesting you mentioned maca root because I just bought some from the herbal store because I feel my hormones were out of balance, which I want you to talk about that. But you kind of did in your display, but I want to talk about women's hormone because it seems to be a common theme in conversations now. Women are complaining like they feel like their hormones are out of whack. A while back with I saw an interview where Michelle Obama was interviewed by Oprah, and they said that had they known about hormone therapy early on, things would have been different because those are not conversations that they really had. And even when we go for these physical exams, they're not really just checking for the hormones. They, do the annual and then they're, some blood work, but they don't go to the level that our bodies need. Can you talk to that?
Yeah. So right before a menstruation, so let's say you got heavy periods, right? Your hormones all over the place. You got anxiety, depression, stress. Your mood is just you always off when you wake up. Are we checking to see what's around the house? I'm literally we're surrounded by printers and routers. This stuff EMF and radiation. Radiation is a direct hit to your adrenal glands. This correlates with fear. And again, this goes right back. The adrenal glands is called your suprarenal glands that correlates with your blood flow and oxygen. So all we're doing is looking into things that can block EMF and radiation. Whatever you feel like you want to look into. Some people look into crystals and put them on their body. It helps protect EMF and radiation. Some people just use salt. Salt does the same thing. So whatever you can find that can also certain fruits protect you from EMF and radiation. You can research that. Go on Google and type in what fruits help protect EMF and radiation. A whole list gonna pop up. So we gotta protect ourselves from the EMF and radiation, which is one of the main causes that's causing hormonal issues. Places like New York has a lot of radiation towers, right? And again, that's a direct hit to your adrenal glands. So once we start blocking out the radiation, right, then we got to start changing what we're eating. For example, if I'm drinking coffee all day and going to the snack machine at work, you're like, man, why you mood off? You just up one day, you crash, you up and you crash. Look at the bioengineered ingredients on the Pop-Tarts, Snickers bars, cupcakes, bioengineered. That engineered. Y'all seen the movie Man in Black, where the parasite was controlling the brain? Same thing with the Matrix. That nanotechnology parasite is controlling the brain. It's the same thing happened a long time ago. They created this certain insect. It's called a Fabulosus bosky. Now, when they spread this insect all over the world. So when the cow or the chicken eats the grass, they eat the Fabulosus bosky, and then we eat the cow and chicken, and now that same parasitic is in our body. Now, a long time ago, the hydrochloric acid in our stomach was able to unalive the parasitic on site. But due to all the chemicals like Febreze, Glade plug-ins, smelly Glade trash bags, this aluminum is weakening our stomach acid. Now the parasite is able to flow past the blood-brain barrier and rob us from minerals, which is robbing your hormones as well. Because your pituitary gland produces what? Hormones, and it feeds your cells zinc. What is the main parasite that robs your body from zinc? The toxoplasma parasite, which correlates with autism, which correlates with schizophrenia, which correlates with bipolar. You can look this stuff up. So to answer your question, our hormones are always attacked, not only because of the EMF radiation, but because of what we're eating, not balancing our emotions, not getting the proper exercise. Also, I know I gotta say this, don't get mad at me. MAC makeup, the makeup. You put it on your skin, where is it going to?
The skin, the body, the inner.
It's going straight to the blood.
To the bloodstream. To the bloodstream.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. You said a mouthful. Yeah, you said a mouthful. We processing, but I do have another question. I love this. Like, the questions keep on coming, guys. What are your thoughts on eating for your blood type?
That's garbage. Listen, we should never, ever eat for our blood type. That is not a part of our culture. I'm an A positive blood type. It says I can eat soy. Am I supposed to eat soy? The answer is no. That's synthetic estrogen. I have another client that's AB. It says he can eat fish and dairy. Listen, I'm gonna show y'all. I wanna paint a picture in y'all head real quick. Do you see what they're dumping in the ocean? What I look like eating fish, and they're dumping sewage water in the ocean. Shrimp, crab bowl, all this stuff is full of parasites, lead, mercury. And we know what mercury does to the brain. And we know what mercury does to hormones. Oh, going back to hormones. So this is why we cannot eat, because eating for your blood type is not designed for us. They not like us. It's not designed for us, right? So we need to eat according to our biological makeup and according to the frugivore lifestyle.
Wow. And I thank you for that, because like I one time was trying that, and my blood type, I have the second rarest blood type in the world. My blood type is B negative. So and it's saying that, like I can have beef but not chicken. I'm not supposed to eat chicken. And let's just say it everyone knows red meat is not good for you. So therefore, to encourage me to always be able to eat meat, that wasn't even a good thing. And then you even say avocado is not good for me. So I guess we're okay on that, because it even says for a B blood type, you're not even supposed to eat avocados and just a whole bunch of stuff. So
now listen, if you're not dealing with no health issues, get on avocados, because it's going to help you rebuild. But if you're dealing with cysts, fibroids, tumors, you got to say, because all it's going to do is grow the tumor. All it's going to do is feed the parasites in your body. Something is in your body that's creating the hormonal imbalance. Because again, we're dealing with your pituitary gland, hypothalamus gland, pineal gland. These feed your cells minerals. Something is in your body that's robbing your glands for minerals. That's supposed to feed the cells.
I'm so glad you said this, because I have someone close to me that does have a tumor in their head, and they eat avocados every day, every chance.
He said the avocado is a proliferator, so that means it's growing the tumor, right?
Yeah,
I gotta let them know this.
Which is a cellular proliferator, right?
If they didn't see this recording, I gotta make sure they see that. They know that.
So her name is Leah. She had in a bad car accident. She broke her collarbone, had 35 screws, broke her pelvic. She had a brain tumor, and she was basically unalive when they first got on the scene. So when they got in the hospital, they brought her back to life, did all the necessary things they had to do. And then when she got out of the hospital, it took about a month to fully heal from the brain tumor, right? Because I got her off of the things that was going to grow the tumor, and I put things in her body that was going to shrink the tumor. It was really that simple. You got to get on the right lifestyle to get the right results.
Okay, I have a question. Do you practice Reiki at all?
It's a combination of everything. So what I do ozone therapy, color therapy, red light therapy. I do hot and cold shower therapy. I do herbalism, nutrition, neurology, iridology. What you just said is a combination of everything in one. Just like I said, it's about what you eat, your balance of your emotions, proper exercise, proper skincare. It's all one.
All right. What is the most important thing, since we're talking about holistic healing? What's the most important thing we should be doing spiritually?
That's a great question. Now, I want to the word spiritual means relating to or affecting the human spirit or soul, as opposed to material or physical things. Your soul means psyche, that's your mind. So we should be healing the mind, and the body will follow. It's all controlled through the nervous system. I don't want to be up all day watching slavery movies. That's gonna make me bad. You know what I mean? So stop. Look, I don't want to have my niece and nephew watch Baby Shark all day. Let's go outside and play. When I was young, we used to play in the playground, play basketball, hopscotch. We ain't doing that no more. They watching Baby Shark to do. You know what I mean? That's what's going on.
So what we're putting into our minds.
Our mind, what we're eating, what we're putting on our skin, it's a holistic thing.
I get that. I'm sorry. We talked about what we're eating and those things. I wanted to focus on that spiritual component too. So as that is concerned, it's about what we're feeding ourselves mentally. So what do you think about the music? Is that affecting?
Absolutely, dealing with the hertz, the frequency light codes, that's in music, right? So we definitely have to watch out. A lot of music that we listen to is controlling our emotions, right? So I like to listen to conscious people. You know, some people know like Kendrick and stuff like that. I like to listen to people that has a message. I don't want to listen to something that don't make sense and it's talking about booty clapping and getting high all day. That's not going to elevate the youth. So I like to listen to things with meaning because I'm a sapiosexual, which is someone who finds a sapiosexual is someone who finds the intelligence of the mind attractive before appearance. So whether if I'm looking at somebody or I'm listening to music, whatever I see, it has to stimulate my mind. Then the body will follow, so I control through my nervous system.
Okay. So we need to be choosy about what we're feeding our minds musically, what we're watching on social media. Correct. What do you think about porn? Can we talk about that? Does that affect us?
Porn is a mini demon. There was a story where this dude got caught watching porn when he was doing a little thing on the computer. His wife caught him, right? And being that he was married, in his mind, he can't get over the fact that his wife caught him. So he was on his patio rocking back and forth with a shotgun next to him. He ended up shooting himself. All because of that porn addiction. Is like a mini demon, right? So the more you watch them, and then when you go outside to reality, you expect this girl to do the same thing that the girl in the street is doing. So porn is just basically a mini demon that's going on around the world. It's not a solution for our people, right? I think growing up, I did things to distract myself with positivity. I got into sports. I play piano. I sang. I got into a lot of things with my community to keep myself away from the porn addictions and stuff like that. And then when I approach a woman, I ask her what? I see the light in you. You know what I mean? It's something besides the beauty, because I'm a sapiosexual. and then when we come together, what solutions what can we come together to do, right? Because I'm a sapiosexual. What can we come together to do? We can come together and do something like we're doing right now.
Okay. So what do you think about this multiple, I'm going through my whole phase type of deal thing that's going online, that's going on online and in social media, multiple sex partners? Does that affect us?
Sex is spiritual. It really is. It's a lot of soul ties within that. And when you have a lot of multiple sex partners, you're choosing this one and this one. You got him at night or her at night and her in the day. And you got this one got 50%, this one got 50%. Let's piece both of them together and create 100%. That's too many soul ties combined together. So I'm a one woman type of dude, but dealing with the multiple wives and all this other type of stuff, the multiplicity that's going on is causing too much. It's causing too much friction. Like, even with the whole multiple thing, are the women kissing? Are just like an orgy fest? What's going on within that? You know what I mean?
And could that be stuff that's part of like that cellular thing that's been passed down? Because back in the day, men they used to they something like a pimp, and they try to pass it down to the young men, and it just passed down. So is that part of that cellular thing that has passed down too?
We had to be fruitful and multiply back then, right? And these men were kings. If you were king in America, then that's for you. But most of us dudes ain't no king. We ain't got no. We're not really living that life, and we can't even put up with one woman. Now we got 55 women.
That's what my dad says all the time. My dad says it. He said it looks fun because there was a time when he had multiple girlfriends when he was alive, living under one roof with him, and they were going for it. Yeah, but as he got older, he would say, no, that's an illusion. That ain't what you think it is. That it looks good and it looks fun, but it turns into something else.
And a lot of times it gets old. When you get a little older, you already did that back in the day, and it's like, you know what? You smash this, you smash that, you smash this, you smash that, and it's like you don't even know the person's name. You don't know the person's birthday. You don't know nothing about this person. And after you get that, after you're a squirrel looking for a nut, you feel empty. There was one time I was on an app called Live Me, and there was this woman that was on the app. Everybody glorified her. She had a little nice gown on. She was, doing a little shake and everything, and everybody was sending her gifts, and she just loved being in front of the camera. So I was in the comments and I asked her a question. I said, "Sister, I got to ask you a question." She said, "Yeah, I want to come up on the panel and talk to you." And she said she came and she looked at my profile and she looked at me and said, "Come on the panel." So I said, "What are 3 things that brings happiness in your life?" She said, "Oh, that's easy. Getting money, my child, and getting money." And then she laughed and it was a laugh. And I said, "Okay, cool." I said, "What are 2 things that are missing in your life?" Now that laughter, that happiness, it turned into a frown, right? Because I said, "What are 2 things that's missing in your life?" And she said, "Well, damn, I'm missing my child, and I feel like I don't have a foundation." And I said, "Sister, what is the one thing you fear?" She said, "I fear losing my child in my life because of the lifestyle I'm living." So she went from all happy and glorified to now it's getting personal. And I said, "Now, I don't know what made me say this. I said, Sister, what made you want to prostitute yourself and do this stuff online?" I don't know what made me say that, but the Spirit told me to say it. She said, "You know what, Yizzreal? A long time ago when I was growing up, I was going through some financial issues. And at the time, I ran into this pimp. This pimp offered me 3 things. He offered me money, a car, and a house. So when I got them 3 things, life was good. I was getting money. Life was moving fast." And I said, "Sister, how does it make you feel at night when that man leaves the room and it's all over and done with?" She said, "I feel empty. I feel like he took something from me. I lay up in my house and drink all day, smoke all day. I'm depressed and stressed the hell out." And I said, "Sister, I want to talk to you." Long story short, I talked to her for 2 to 3 weeks about healing, meridian pathways, the cellular memory. Talked to her about the frugal lifestyle. Long story short, she gave the pimp back the money, gave pimp back the house, gave pimp back everything, moved back in with her mom, got together with her child. She's engaged and she's working on her college degree and stuff like that. Keep the story short.
But you know what? I talk to a lot of men who do and did a lot of one-night stands. And after a while of living that type of lifestyle, what most of them told me is that they only continued because doing that, the one-night stands, is because they started to get really lonely and they would feel an emptiness. And to fulfill that temporary emptiness and temporary loneliness, there was another one-night stand. And some guys even told me that when they did do those one night stands, that after, they did what they did, they weren't even interested in a woman anymore. They didn't even want her to be in the bed no more. It's like, okay, time to go. Even though they still felt that emptiness and that loneliness.
Yeah, because
So
men are not that emotional. Men are visual creatures. Women are emotional creatures, right? So we can sleep with somebody today and not give a damn tomorrow. Like we don't have to know their name, because we're like, a lot of men are in and out. I'm in with this person, I'm out with this person, and a lot of men decompartmentalize their emotions because growing up we was taught to be tough, to not give a damn, to I don't care if you cry, shut up and go back and go lift them weights, go play some back, go do this and do that. A lot of men has been programmed into living up to them statistics. So dealing with our emotional well-being, I think we need to tap into how to balance the feminine and masculine energy. That's going to break that cycle of the man lusting and I got to get a girl every night. I got to get these numbers. That's like high school stuff. We ain't in high school no more. We got to change.
And you know what's so interesting about you guys talking about this is I just had a conversation the other day talking about this in a sense, and I thought about TLC Waterfalls. Like, at one point you go look he went and looked in the mirror and he didn't recognize his own face because you don't have so many sexual partners. And people don't even think about that. When you are doing that, you're sharing energy. it's so much deeper than, excuse me, getting a orgasm or something like that. There is a connection. That's why it's called into me you see, in a sense. That's what you're doing, and people are not even thinking about it. So then they're not even understanding, why am I feeling some kind of way? Why are my emotions this way? Why I can't get it together? You picking up all these different energies. Thoughts?
Agree.
Hey, at the end of the day, you make yourself happy. You can be laying next to a woman or man every day, and you be the loneliest person in the world. The woman can do everything in her ability to make you happy. So can the man do, but you're still not happy, and you blame yourself for them not making you happy. At the end of the day, you make yourself happy because the kingdom is within you. So at times, this happiness we're seeking isn't from the partner; it's from you. So the happiness that I seek in myself comes from me and my ability to help people. Like, for example, my passion is help people. I like to see my mom happy. I don't want to see my mom did so much for us, so I make sure her bills taken care of. She never got to worry about bills. I want her to enjoy her life with her friends. I want her to travel. I want her to live the quality of her life and not in pain and struggling. So as a young man, when I was doing electrical stuff and doing residential stuff, I was tired of busting tables at restaurants. I grew up with a lot of trauma, a lot of trauma. Stepdad was a drunk. A lot of family members transitioned. I seen a lot of things happen. Man went in and out of my mom's life, but my mom and my grandma strengthened me to be the man who I am today because they taught me things to balance my emotions, like the piano and singing, and just good energy, laughing. We always used to laugh growing up. Now today's is everybody's always serious. Nobody don't smile no more. We working too much. We be tired. So my goal as a man to make sure my mom was good, make sure my family was good, and that makes me good at the end of the day.
You know what? One of the things that you said just made me think of some of the teachings that I listened to. I listened to the teachings of Abraham Hicks. And one of the things she's always reiterating is we're to have fun. Because you just said, like, we people take life too serious. So even sometimes now I'm to the point, she's saying feel good, have fun, enjoy life, because of course that ties into the laws of the universe, that ties into our point of attraction and things like that. And it seems like the more you try to just not IGDAF, it just seems the more they try to make you GF. So what are your thoughts on that thought process to not take life serious? Because you got to think, we were told work hard, and in order to do this and to be able to have this good life and this, that, and the other. But when you really start listening to the science of mind, or reading the book or The Secret, it's really about your point of attraction and getting yourself into alignment to allow those things to flow into your life. Anyone want to chime in on that?
Yeah, let me say this. I think the most important thing is having fun, is knowing what fun is. Because for some people, work is fun. Like for some people, destructive patterns are fun. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So first we have to identify what is fun, what's fun, a healthy fun or a destructive type of fun. Some people like to go look, we just talked about picking up men and women. That's fun. Feeding the ego. So yeah, so we need to, what's fun? What's real fun?
Well, for a person such as myself, it's good things. It's those things which are lovely and joyful and wholesome. And what do the fruit of the spirits talk about? So yes, that's what I identify as fun. Just enjoying life. Ultimately, that's what it's supposed to be about. And a lot of people don't enjoy life because they're caught in that pattern of the struggle mindset. And so maybe fun to me is also freedom. I equate fun to being freed, and that's where life enjoyment comes into play.
Yeah, we all have
Shelly,
an
you've
inner
been
child.
quiet too. Chime in when you get ready to. Go ahead, Yizzreal.
We all have an inner child within us, and we want to
Yes.
bring that out. When I'm looking in the mirror, I look at myself as that same little boy that loves to sing, play piano, go work out, go play basketball, just wake up for no reason and like 3 a.m. just go for a run. You know what I mean? That's what stimulates my mind. That's my involvement of fun. But I used to love to dance. I used to love to listen to music, to listen to the vibrations. So all that to me is where I get my fun and my energy from. Also, again, seeing my family happy, seeing my mom not in pain, that brings fun in my life too. Happy.
I love it. Chat, you guys have anything for me? Y'all got quiet on us. So this is good. Oh, I know what I wanted to say, and we veered because the conversation kept going, and I didn't want to interject when you were talking about the things that we watch. I remember long years ago, I used to be an avid watcher of the First 48. I used to watch it faithfully. And literally one day I was watching it and a voice spoke to me and said, "You know, nothing good comes out of this show, right?" And I'm sitting here, I was like, that's right. It's always based on a murder. And then, of course, whoever committed I don't even know if I was supposed to say that word, but it's based on, an activity. And then, of course, whoever committed the activity, they're going to either face incarceration or something like that or more. And so when I really sat and thought about it, that I stopped. Like when you talk cold turkey, I did. And that allowed me to become mindful of what I watch. Because my pastor back in the day used to always say, protect your ear gate, protect your eye gate, protect, what did you say in the scripture earlier, Cole? I think it was you said, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So we have to be mindful of those things. And a lot of times people don't take those little things into consideration, but it makes a difference.
It's true, but when it comes to stuff like that, for me, I'll watch it because I study everything I'm doing. I don't know why I'm wired that way, but everything I do, I can find a piece of a puzzle to everything I see. I can find a piece of a puzzle to something, and so when I do watch 48, that for me, it teaches me something. But I do know when I've had too much. And I need okay, I got the concept. Everybody snitch. I don't care what they say. Everybody go snitch. Okay, what they say. So I got it. And so I used to watch ID Network a lot. Like the Who the Bleep Is My Husband or The Killer Next Door, story. Yeah. I used to watch that, but I only watched that so it could help me bring about an awareness to myself, like just basic things that I should be looking out for. You know what I'm saying? But I realized when I started watching it way too much, and when I started saying to myself, and I kid you, now this was it.
Say it.
When I started saying, I wouldn't have did it like this, I would have did it like that. I said, oh, that's way too much. I'm crossing over to the dark side. So I knew, wow, I need to let this go. Okay, I got all that I need out of that. I've learned, okay, yeah, Cola, you need to be aware of A, B, C, and D. And I'm done with that. So do you understand what I'm saying? So for some people, it can bring about awareness. And I'm one of those persons. And I know when I've had enough. And
one of the awareness it can bring about is how to get away with murder. I gotta stop saying that word. It can bring about how to get away with a crime, because you already know how they gonna do good cop, bad cop. You already know what they, so yeah, no. But I do have a question in the chat. Are binaural say that word for me, beats helpful in regards to healing?
Binaural. So beets is cool for iron, but it robs your body from calcium. So anytime you're consuming beets, it has a lot of betatin in it. So anytime you're consuming beets,
not the food beats, binaural beats, music.
My bad. Beets. Yeah, repeat the question one more time. My bad.
Are binaural beats helpful in regards to healing?
Yeah, if it's dealing with the frequency like codes and music and the vibrations, it's very good for healing. Along with singing bowls, all this stuff is good for healing.
So we're talking about really frequencies.
Yeah, frequency, the music, but the you know, like singing bowls, a lot of things, piano music, relaxation music. They actually have frequency light code music. So all these things is good for healing because it's going to help balance the emotions out. When I'm going to sleep and I'm listening to rain music or I'm listening to piano music, it puts me off out of good state. If you go to sleep and listen to heavy rock music, I'll give you an example. Along when they did rat experiments, because y'all know they experimented on rats and stuff before they experimented on us. So when we studied the rat experiment, they had a cage full of rats, and these rats were getting fed bad water, bad food, and they listened to heavy metal rock music all night. They had another cage with some rats, and they was listening to like relaxation piano music. They had spring water and good food. So they noticed the rats on the left that had the bad food, the bad the heavy metal rock music. They was fighting each other. Male rats was humping male rats. It was all types of trauma in the ghetto with these rats. Now the other rats, on the other hand, they was reproducing more. They had no cysts and fibroids like the other rats. And when they opened the cage of both rats, the rats that had the good water and the good food, they went out and explored. The other rats stayed inside. They stayed inside in there, and because they love that drama and that explains what's happening with our community. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. Dang, you made
Question here, and that's good. Do you know the name of that study so that we can look? I would love to look that up.
I'm gonna send it to you, but I know it's called the rat experiment that correlates with the humans. But I think it's called the rat experiment. I'm gonna actually look it up while I'm talking.
I've read multiple studies like that similar, but they weren't using rats. I've seen them program water with different frequencies and how when playing heavy metal music into the water and they would freeze the water, you know, when you freeze water, it shapes into crystals like snow. And the crystals were so erratic and the formations were just really crazy, like static on a TV screen, versus when they spoke love into the water, kindness into the water, programming the water with sapient melodies, and they froze that water, and the crystals were perfectly formed and beautifully formed. That's on YouTube, that experiment. I forgot the name of the doctor that did it. They also did an experiment like that with plants. Energies, frequencies, that's really all what it boils down to. Even when we're talking about on cellular level, that's what it boils down to.
Yeah, you can look up the rat experiment had a startling discovery. Universe 25, the rat utopia experiment. It's a whole bunch of them. How American diet affect rats. It's a whole bunch of them.
And these are actual studies by, I'm sure, professional scientists.
Yep.
wow.
And a lot of this stuff is real. They just rather listen to street corner talk on the corner, you know, that has no validity to it at all. But they're actually experimenting with these emotions and with the effects of emotions and sounds and frequencies. They are experimenting with this in the lab.
Why y'all think they call it treatment? What are they treating us with? See, a lot of the times we think, oh, well, I got stage 4 breast cancer. The doctor said I got 2 weeks to live. You don't got 2 weeks to live. Stage 4 breast cancer is easy to heal, no matter what a cancer is. The thing is this: is it because of the treatment, or is it because, you know, the actual cancer? That's what we're gonna have to determine. Do you know the ingredients in chemotherapy? Do you know the ingredients in your ibuprofen? We don't even know half of the ingredients in our stuff. We just pop it in our mouth, right? Same thing with antibiotics. We didn't know antibiotics were made out of mold and fungus. So the thing is, we need to be accountable for researching everything we put in our body, on our skin, and then that's when we're really gonna see the light.
Okay, now as far as the research, how do we weed out? How do we weed out the stuff? And how do we know? How do we know when we're really reading authentic, true, factual, studied information versus stuff that they put up on Wikipedia?
Hey, I got 4 PDFs, right? My first PDF is called an easy step-by-step guide to a frugal lifestyle. I can send this to your WhatsApp messenger or your Telegram. Again, my number is public 937-342-3726. I have this PDF that I remember I wrote. Me and my brother worked a PDF called Biochemical and Water Warfare, and in-depth studies on harmful chemicals found in our water and daily usages, because he worked at a water treatment plant for 13 years. I have 2 other PDFs that correlates. It's called the no-no list, what we should eat, what we should not eat, and we got a juice plan on there. We got a we call a foot bath, and the last PDF is getting more in depth with cleaning products, get rid of the Febreze, Glade plugins, the proper cleaning product. So I got 4 PDFs designed especially for the chosen people that we can have in our house and let it trickle on down to our children. I'm not somebody that just get on the platform and just talk. I got receipts to back up what I'm saying, from HIV to HSV to stage 4 Pacers. Anything you can imagine, we got a receipt before and after diagnosis sheet. So we want to tell y'all that healing is easy, but you just got to learn the information, and you got to get with the right people that got results and receipts to prove what they're saying.
So you have the information, and we are going to dig into that. But a lot, we're going to dig into that. But when people are online searching, so-called researching, could you give us some tips on the proper ways of researching and how to get to factual, valid sources and weed out, like I said, all the other bull crap? It's, Google has now turned into, it's just a app that's full of some stuff say yes, the same thing where they're saying yes, they're going to say no to the exact same thing. And so because of that, people are so-called researching, but the research is all wrong. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Now, back in the day, this is what I did when I first started to do research, right? I typed in Dr. Sebi oatmeal Facebook, right? Oatmeal Facebook. So when you type in Dr. Sebi oatmeal Facebook, you're going to see these things going to pop up like this. So click on that very first link you see. It says, this is why keeping Dr. Sebi's healing legacy alive. Click on that. Now, again, this is just an example. We all grew up on oatmeal. Now, what it's going to say it says right here, you've been lied to, 5 horrifying facts about how, oh, my bad, over here. Oh, did they close on? Okay, we go. Open it up right now. Oh, no, did they close it down? But you've been lied to, 5 horrifying facts about how eating oatmeal can wreck your health. Then it's going to talk about the chemical constituents that's in oatmeal, such as avenine. When you consume the oatmeal, the avenine content in it wears on out of your intestines, causing undigested food to leak into your digestive tract, into the bloodstream. The high amounts of phytic acid robs your body from minerals. Same thing with, like I said, garlic has sulfur hydroxyl, kills 10,000 brain cells. Cashews is full of aflatoxins, oxalic acid, phytic acid. So most of the things we grew up on, we shouldn't have in our house. And that's a little bit of the information I got my information from, but I also studied a lot. Dr. Africa, Dr. G. Morrison, Yakia Waken, and that gave me a lot more information as well.
Okay.
Cola, let me jump in the chat real quick. I apologize. Okay, so, and to the binaural beats, like I use them to sleep. So when you were talking about the rats, I'm now even listening to Rain with the Beats, and it's amazing. It's like the best sleep ever. So the question is, and I have several, so Cola, give me just a minute. What preference of thorough herbalist to study from, and what some study material we can use to understand healing as a whole?
I would say I have mentorship classes. I mentor doctors, I mentor therapists, I mentor neurologists. I got one scientist in my mentorship program. I got a lot of people that wants to join, because everybody we got clients, but where's the results? For example, I told the sister that just today alone, I had a client that was fully healed from pancreas cancer. I think she had stage 3. Super excited. So I'm gonna be putting that before and after diagnosis sheet on my Instagram. So the goal is when we're dealing with all these clients and many different people that's going through these things, again, is to build up a track record of results. That's what I did before I was certified. I built up a track record of results, because you need to have them 2 or 3 witnesses to prove everything you're saying. So,
and he also showed me a video of a professional NBA basketball player that he worked with. You want to tell about that too?
Yeah, he had a lot of couple heart palpitations. Good dude. His name is Phil Crawford. Y'all keep working with him as well. I personally drove out to his house, and I helped him. I gave him a lot of products. We did a lot of things together. I changed the shower filter, worked out, juiced, ate good. I cooked and everything because I'm a little chef on the side. You know what I mean? I like to put certain stuff together. So we did all that, and we made 2 videos. All right, we made 2 videos. It's called "How to Start a Healthy Lifestyle." Phil Crawford. Not only that, I was with a famous. His name is Terrence Little. He was a famous boy. He plays in a movie, and he plays in a lot of cartoon TV shows, like Danger Force. You can see him. His name is Terrence Little. I helped his granddad heal. All praise to the Most High. His granddad had a large prostate, kidney issues, cirrhosis of the liver. By the way, they said there's no way you can cure that, but we healed it in less than 3 weeks. He had high blood pressure. He had a little spot on his lungs that only took 3 weeks to heal, and he lost 30 pounds. You know what I mean? So I like that. What I like to do is get fast and efficient results because I have a blueprint, and if we follow the blueprint, we're gonna get the same results everybody else got.
Okay. Next question. In winter months, are whole food sources as beneficial for vitamin D as sunlight? And if not, how can you get adequate vitamin D in those times?
Okay, figs, mushrooms, a herb called stinging nettle. Drink stinging nettle tea, right? And that's what you want to do for vitamin D.
Stinging nettle. Okay. All right. I like that. Okay.
But again, your mushroom real quick. Lion's mane mushroom, king trumpet mushroom. Imagine if you make like if you got stinging nettle herb in powdered form. You got some mushroom coffee. Put the stinging nettle herb in the mushroom coffee. Drink that down. After that, you eat on some figs. There goes your vitamin D right there too. It's just a lot of ways to get some vitamin D. But yeah, that's it.
That lion's mane mushroom. How much of that? I mean, how much of that should we take per day or every other day? How does that work? Because I've known that to throw people into psychotic episodes.
So what I do is I consume the lion's mane right before I go to bed. Why? Because 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. that's when your body is bringing in nutrients. When you're fast asleep. So it makes sense to do the lion's mane right before you go to sleep because it's going to wake up the neurotransmitters, the signal, the basal ganglia, the hypothalamus is going to wake up the neurotransmitters to carry signals all throughout the brain. So what I do is I do like seeded watermelon or cantaloupe or papaya. Those are phytonutrients that's used to give my cells energy. I add the lion's mane powder to it, along with the maca root, along with the moringa powder, along with the conscious crispy sea moss, right before I go to sleep, and I wake up feeling like $1,000,000.
So then, what's the milligram? What's the highest amount of milligram, or what's the safety net for the lion's mane in milligrams?
I do like, I'll be honest with you, I do like a half a teaspoon in my smoothies. Just a half a teaspoon of lion's mane powder in the smoothie.
Okay.
So, Yizzreal, before I ask the next question, can you give me the best contact number for you? Because someone asked for your contact information, and
okay,
I think
so
you said a number
right
different from what I have in my phone.
I think we should just
don't give them that number.
I know that's what I said. So go ahead, give me the number. I'm gonna put it in the chat.
So 937-342-3726.
Okay, to repeat, 937-342-3726. He's also, guys, on all the social media platforms under the name Yizzreal. His following base is huge, so you definitely want to check him out. So before Cola jump back in, is eating alkaline? Is eating alkaline needed for cleaning, reversing disease?
I'm gonna be honest with y'all, because I know y'all want me to tell you the truth, not to lie to you. The alkaline community has destroyed us. When you become a chemist, the word alkaline means base. Base is chemicals they're putting in the water to raise the pH or lower the pH. So let's say if you came into a chemical lab, you're a rookie, right? You say, hey y'all, I'm about to drink some alkaline water. You probably get laughed at and kicked out of the whole chemical lab. Because alkaline means base, which is chemicals they're putting in the water to either raise the pH, high calcium hydrate lime type N, or lower the pH, sulfuric acid and nitric acid. So alkaline means base, which is chemicals. We need to become a frugivore, the holistic lifestyle. That word alkaline is you can go to a store and say, hey, you want to become alkaline? Get some Essentia 9.5 alkaline water. And when you turn the bottle around, it's going to say purified water. And this is what is inside the purified water. See what I'm saying?
Okay. All right. Next question. Is eating fungus counteractive if you're detoxing?
So it depends because it's used to slightly rebuild the body. So breakfast, again, get your astringent fruits in. When you detox a lot of them stuff out, when you do the antioxidants, you're gonna get a little hungry because you detoxing the body out, right? So what do we use to rebuild the body back up? We need to put minerals back in the body. What is mushrooms full of? Not only the good fungus, it's not like it's gonna increase the candida in your body, it's gonna help with it. So you gotta balance this out. I'm gonna do a bowl of red quinoa, red lentil, okra, Brussels sprout, sweet potatoes with the mushrooms. But the key thing is, it's not always the mushrooms that's causing that effect y'all feeling. It's the way you're washing the mushrooms. Do you wash your mushrooms with saint water? I'm gonna repeat that again. Do you wash your mushrooms with saint water? Not all these chemicals in your mushrooms and you blaming the mushrooms. Let's wash our mushrooms with lemon, Celtic salt, and crystal geyser spring water. Soak them in there, springe them out, and then transfer it to regular spring water, springe them out again, and then put it in the bowl. So what I do is I put a little hexane-free grapeseed oil. I use Rosa hexane-free grapeseed oil. Soak them in there. I get myself a little plant-based bag. Put my seasoning in the bag. Dump the mushrooms in the bag, and now it's ready for my pan to lightly saute. Get the nice, and then my mushrooms is ready. No chemicals in it. It's all good.
I heard you say salt, but what do you think of your thoughts on pink Himalayan salt and sea salt? Because I have not heard you say them yet.
Yeah, there's been a lot of things going on with pink Himalayan salt. They say the giants came and it comes from giants and stuff. So a lot of my clients said that. I said, you know what? Let's use Celtic salt. Celtic salt is cool. It's good for hydration. So I'm just sticking to Celtic salt, or kelp salt, dose salt, or celery salt. That's the ones I use.
Okay. All right, Cole. I know you got something. Go for it.
I'm going to ask him to explain. Are there dangers in 5G?
You mean the radiation towers and stuff, the 5G EMF radiation?
Cell phones.
Yeah. It affects your adrenal glands. You know how they got the little patch to go behind your phone? We can start using those. Or like I said, if you're into crystals, with the tourmaline, put the quartz, the desert quartz. Listen, I have a electromagnetic radiation detector. When I first bought it, I was detecting things in my house. So I seen my router and my printer, and that thing was beeping off the charts. But as soon as I put a tourmaline behind it, it went back to zero. So believe it or not.
A what?
Electromagnetic. As soon as I put like a crystals behind it, the numbers went all the way down to zero. Meaning that it really does. Yeah, you got quartz, you got desert quartz, you got tourmaline, tiger's eye. Listen, don't take my word. Get you an electromagnetic radiation detector. Go on your house and put it in front of your printer or your router. The thing is going to beep off the charts. Put the crystal behind it, and it's going to go right back to zero. So remember, a lot of things people think this is demonic. It's in the Bible, right? In the book of Genesis, it talks about, in the Revelations, it says the kingdom of heaven is made out of the jasper stone. Jasper is a crystal. Right, and in Genesis, it talks about the house of Israel, and it's correlate with crystals. The servants and the prophets had a breastplate, and what did it have on it? Crystals. So crystals help protect you from EMF radiation. But remember, there's good in the earth and there's bad in the earth. Be careful about who you got to study this. Whoever you getting it from, make sure you use your spiritual discernment and study these people, because people do certain things with things. So just make sure you're getting it from a good source.
And then too, when it comes to crystals, you have to make sure that you don't replace your crystals with God. Crystals are only a tool. Crystals is just a tool, just like the internet is a tool, radio waves is a tool. It's only a tool. You don't replace it with spirituality or replace it with being a God. You use it as a tool. Because
it's made out of minerals. So you already got minerals in your body. So if I use 100% copper, the benefits of 100% copper, then I put my crystals on. I don't got time for worshiping no crystals, no copper. I worship the Most High and the Son, who is the bridge of our salvation, and the kingdom is within me. But I know while I'm worshiping the Most High and doing all these things, the left is finding out ways to destroy our adrenal glands with these EMF radiation towers. So we got to put on the armor, that breastplate. I know we got this a lot of spiritual things, but the spiritual and the physical is connected. We can't separate the spiritual. All these is connected through physiology. It's spiritual, physical, emotional. We are in a spiritual and emotional body. right? So all these things is connected. We got a dream body, emotional body, spiritual body, metaphysical body, right? All these things all connected is what I'm saying.
Okay, and so I had a question. I was reading something once, and it was saying that you should not sleep close to your cell phone because of the radiation from the 5G. Do you practice that at all? Like, when you're sleeping, do you sleep with your cell phone next to the bed, or is it across the room, or do you have a crystal by it?
Mm-hmm. I got the little tab you can put on the back of your phone for EMF radiation, and I also do the crystals as well.
And I remember when 5G was first coming out, there was this huge uproar about it, and I didn't quite understand what it was. And so I started reading about it. And yeah, so I mean, because you talked about radiation earlier during the conversation, we didn't specify 5G. And so that's why I wanted to bring that back up.
Or another thing, you can also use pink Himalayan salt, place it around there. If you want to deal with the crystals, use pink Himalayan salt, place it around there, and that helps protect it as well. The EMF radiation.
And I got one more question. What should we, or what's the most helpful thing that we could be doing in nature?
Go outside, take your shoes off. Stop working out in the gym. What's inside of a gym? Bacteria. When you touch that metal is nickel. Let's say you got fibroid cysts, herpes, HIV, eczema. When you touch it, the nickel inside of that is going to absorb through your bloodstream and feed the parasite. Then you go in the gym and you spray your gym wear with isopropyl alcohol. That feeds parasites in the body, weakens the hydrochloric acid in your stomach, which allows it to flow past the blood-brain barrier to rob your body for minerals. Let's go outside and work out. I mean, you get way more benefits working out outside than in the gym where it's full of bacteria and stuff like that. Also, when we're running on a treadmill, let's try to run backwards. That gets the lymphatic system moving a little better.
I've heard that. Okay, so couple things. Even with crystals too, people have to be careful with them too, because like crystals have a history of magnifying how you feeling. Can you speak to that? Have you ever heard that? Because like, say for instance, somebody really down depressed and they're thinking, oh, I'm going to get crystals to clean up my energy space, but in fact, it will magnify the energy that they're putting out. What are your thoughts on that, or either one of y'all?
I'm gonna tell you from experience. I was just like everybody else. I was like terrified. I thought the crystals and the witch was gonna come out and hit me with a broom. I was terrified at first, but what I did was I started to study. I started to use my spiritual discernment and started to study. So I studied I did a little research on it, and I said, you know what am I scared for? Let me go look into it. So I grabbed one. I looked into it. I went to somebody's house that they gave me the first crystal. You know what? Let me try it out. So I actually tried it out. But the first thing I did, because I remember I'm an electrician. So I grabbed my radiation. I said, if this stuff is true, it's going to block this radiation from this router. So when I actually tested it, it worked. And I was like, you know what? It actually worked. So that's when I started using it. But again, do your research first. Study, and your spiritual discernment got to be on high. If you're just a baby and you're on the milk, just get with me, do some studying first, see which one, because some people can walk in a crystal shop and then do a little bit of study and pick out the one they want. But again, it's a stipulation to this. If you're weak-minded, if you don't really like to study, if you're scared of everything, right? Just go get the pink Himalayan salt and just put it around your house. Do something different. But again, if you're studied and you want to learn, research it first. Go to a credible source. I got a lot of credible sources. Remember, you can't get crystals from everybody. Go to a credible source so you can, get the right things.
To that point, I have a friend that has the gift of clairvoyancy, and she and I went to a crystal shop. So I let her pick out mine because I was like, oh, what do you think of this? And and she was telling me, no, this feels like a lot of hands have touched it. This feels like this, and this feels as close to clean as possible. So trust me, he is absolutely right on that. So let me ask this question before, as we start bringing this in. Are pink Himalayan salts helpful to absorb EMF? The lamp.
Yeah, when you place, absolutely. Actually, look, there's a video on YouTube. But there's an actual video on YouTube that proves that it does absorb EMF and radiation. And again, you can go on Google, get you an electromagnetic radiation detector, get yourself a pink Himalayan lamp, and test it yourself. What I tell people to do, don't take my word for it, test it yourself. And remember, This EMF radiation is real. It's affecting our adrenal glands. It's affecting our emotions. It's the reason why you wake up in the mood, because you work in a facility, or you work in a cubicle where you're surrounded by printers and routers, and it's directly affecting your adrenal glands. So again, they are trying to bring fear amongst us. Your adrenal glands is the main gland, and your kidneys that correlates with fear. The more fear they can push into you, the more they can control your emotions. For example, I had a stage 4 breast C client, and when the doctor told her that she got stage, well, long story short, she seen a lump on her breast. She went to the doctor. She went to a doctor, sent to an oncologist. He gave the information back to the doctor, said that she had stage 4 breast cancer. What does that do to a woman's psyche? Automatically, she was in fear. Remember, in the hospital, what's this? A whole bunch of EMF radiation in the hospital. It radiates with radiation, right? So when she got out of the hospital and she was figuring out, what am I going to do? The doctor gave her 3 options: chemo, radiation, or surgery, or pills, right? So she chose the chemo pills. And as soon as she took it, hair is being lost, throwing up all over the place, and weak. Then she ran into one of her friends that knew me. I helped her heal from something, and she came to my live when I was on Bigo, listened to me teach for a little bit, got on the phone with me. The first 3 weeks, the lump we got with the healing, the lump on her breast went down. She went back to the doctor. The doctor said the cancerous cells has moved from the breast to an upper respiratory. Now, a lot of people think when the cancer cells is moving, they get scared. To me, I get excited because now you told me what a cancer it is. So if it's in the thyroid and parathyroid, I'm just gonna cleanse the thyroid and parathyroid. That's easy. Then on the 4th week, they said the cancerous cells has moved to her gastrointestinal tract. Okay, we just cleanse the GI tract. That's easy. On the 5th week, they said the cancerous cells has moved to her liver. After we cleansed the liver on the 6th week, she went back to the hospital. They said, there's no more cancer in your body. Your urine is clean. You're free to go. It all it took was 6 weeks. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, and wow, that's more of phenomenal information. I have to acknowledge everything that you're saying. This is awesome. This is awesome. And I want to go back to what you said about like going outside barefooted. So let me tell my personal story on that. So almost 3 years ago, I was diagnosed with hypertension. And first, I came back from Paris. Blood vessel had burst in my eye. Doctor said your blood pressure is up. Wanted to put me on blood pressure medication. And I tried the beets. I tried the garlic. I tried everything I could. And I was in Florida about almost a year later. And literally, Spirit led me to the beach. I stood barefooted on the earth. And as I was going back to my vehicle, he said, hold on to the tree branch for a minute. I got back to Georgia after a stressful return home, and I checked my blood pressure and it was normal. I thought it was going to be high. I was like, okay, I'm going to have to go ahead and take these people medication. And I started like, okay, it's normal. What did I do different? What did I do different? And I realized I stood on the earth. So I started researching. And ever since then, to keep my blood pressure regulated, even though right now it's kind of cold, it's hard to do, but I make my way outside barefoot on the earth, looking like that person, a tree hugger, not a tree hugger, but I'll hold on to a branch. I do. I'll hold, because what it is, the trees pull the negative energy out of us. And so that personally has kept me off of hypertension medication for like 3 years. And I'm just going to say forever because I'm going to continue to do it. So that really officially made me an earth baby. And I wasn't never the earth baby prior to that. Any comments or thoughts on that?
Hey, listen. That's why the Bible calls it the tree of life. Choose life that you and your seed may live, because you decided to choose life. You know what I mean? Go outside, take your shoes off. Just lay in there and bask in the sun. You know, we go through a lot of trauma and emotions all through. We need to start letting this stuff out, because you digest the sun. You digest the ground when you're grounded. You digest your family's energy. You digest a narcissistic relationship. Everything we digest, it's called the circle of life. It has to come right out, filter out through the kidneys, filter out through the skin, filter out when you pee. All this stuff has to come out of the body.
This is awesome. This is awesome. Yizzreal, you know you got to come back, right?
You already know.
Question. We all oil ourselves down daily. What's the best oil to use?
Grape seed oil. Why? Because it's full of vitamin K and it's full of vitamin E. Vitamin K is for free radicals. Vitamin E strengthens the blood. And seeded grapes alone cleanses the blood and get the kidneys to filter. That's when you're healing from something. Now, if you're not healing from anything, then you can look at coconut oil. Remember, if you're a woman dealing with PCOS, fibroid, cyst tumors, remember coconut oil is full of L-arginine, that's a cellular proliferator that's going to grow the tumor. So why would you put it on your skin? It's going to absorb through the bloodstream and feed the parasites. So coconut oil is cool when you're not healing from something. If you're healing from something, use the grapeseed oil.
Okay. You know what? My son, he's the bomb. I just got to give him his props because I think he had some of that over here as well. So, and coconut oil. In fact, I'm supposed to go get coconut oil. So you have done like actually a lot of confirmation for some things that he had already been working on. So I gotta say thank you. So I'm going to start wrapping this up, and before I do, my man Shelly, this was one of those conversations that you did a lot of observing, well, the whole session really, but I do want to give you an opportunity to say something. So Shelly, you have any words for us?
It was interesting, and a lot of knowledge in there, and I'm gonna just reiterate on what he said. Just know who you're listening to. Do your research, do your homework, because there's a lot of fakes out there, and there's a lot of in-betweens out there, and there's a lot of steps in between the in-between. And like I let him do most of the talk, because what he said is very true in a lot of ways, but there's a lot of just pay attention. Let me just leave it at that. Mm-hmm. And I'm very, it was informative.
Okay. Can you show us your information again and give us a little bit more detailed about your PDFs?
Okay, so this PDF again, I use it a lot. That's why it's all ripped up, broken up. But it can be sent to your WhatsApp messenger or your Telegram. You can text me about the price and everything and get it sent to you. It's called an easy step-by-step guide to a frugal lifestyle, right? Written by me and everything. So this has meal plans, herb plans, juice recommendations. It explains the whole protein myth and the whole, I got diabetes, but I can't eat sugar. It explains the difference between monosaccharide sugars, disaccharide sugars, polysaccharide sugars. There is so much information in this PDF, right? How to heal on the cellular level. Am I consuming too much sugar in the frugal lifestyle? It also has meal plans, herb recommendations on it. So if you go right here, you go real quick. I'm gonna show you something real quick. I have 3 detox protocols in it, and I have a little herb recommend for those who's looking into herbalism. I have a herbs with the benefits attached to them. Y'all can see it right here. So it has many different herbs like lily of the valley, white oak bark, quassia wood chips, purple sea moss. Right here it says for people who have an addiction issue, quassia wood chips is used for viral loads, cleanses the blood, arteries, and kidneys. It increases your appetite and assists in breaking addictions such as cigarettes, weed, etc. Olive leaf is good for type 2 diabetes, lowers blood pressure, supports weight loss, boosts your lymphatic system, fights herpes, reduces cardiovascular risk, eliminates free radicals. So now you get a chance to study these herbs, and then you get a chance to put them together when you decide to join some mentorship class and become your own herbalist and nutrition consultant, etc. So long story short, this has the juice plans, meal plans, herb recommendations, and all the teachings in it. This PDF, me and my brother created it. It's called Biochemical Water Warfare. It tells you about the filtration systems we should be using, the soil water filtration. It talks about microns in your water. It also talks about, what kind of soap we should be using. It explains the chemicals that's in the water directly from the treatment plant, right? And then my other 2 PDFs, it's called Frugivore Foods to Eat, No Eat. When you open it up, it's going to have a no-no list of everything you cannot eat on the healing journey. And after that, it's going to be the juice plan. And after that, it's going to be seasonings that we can use. Then after that, it's going to explain the fruit number code and the foot bath. And the last PDF is all the items that's in the house. The Febreze, the Glade plugins, it's telling you to get rid of all these things so it can increase your healing journey. So I got 4 PDFs. When y'all inbox me, I'll give you the price and see if y'all want to get it.
Okay, and also give us your background again. You are a master herbalist, and how did you arrive to that?
Yeah, so a long time ago, before I was certified, I was studying Seen a lot of things going on with my family, so I decided to be a part of the solution and do something about it. And I ran into a lot of healers, Dr. G. Morrison, Yakir Waken, Dr. Sabi, and I got certified by Yakir Waken. Then after that, I got my own company, and here I am today. That's pretty much what happened. Mm-hmm.
So, hold on, Cole. I'm sorry. A question was asked: are the PDFs what you went by to heal the lady of breast cancer?
Correct. So basically, it's a combination of everything I did in a journey to help them heal. Another beautiful thing about receiving the PDF, you will also get my number, so you can stay in contact with me. So if you have questions, if you decide to get on a consultation, I can walk you through everything. But the PDFs are very thorough. It explains everything you need to know. What is a frugivore? That's what, because you want to know what kind of lifestyle. Remember, it's not a diet; it's a lifestyle. So it's going to tell you what you're getting yourself into. It's going to tell you what meat is doing to us. Even when you become a vegan or vegetarian, a frugivore is a step above a vegan. So you always want to elevate and become stronger. It's going to explain how to heal on a cellular level, because you got 150 trillion cells in your body, and it's designed for any race, but it's specifically designed for people who are a part of the solution, not a part of the problem.
Okay. And the things that you do, you provide mentorship, right? Consultation, of course, consultation, mentorship. What else do you do?
I do healing retreats. So I did a healing retreat with Terrence Little, who had the diabetes 2, a large prostate. 3 weeks he was healed. I do a lot of healing retreats. I travel a lot, so I do that as well.
And what does your healing retreats look like? Like, do you gather people who might have like a group of diabetics? Y'all will go somewhere. What does that look like? What does your healing retreat look like?
Just like you explained, let's say somebody got lupus, diabetes 2, and stage 4 breast cancer. We all in one place. Might be a three bedroom, 4 bedroom, etc. It depends on where I'm traveling to. Then we pick a spot and we all go there. I do all the cooking. I do all the juicing. I do all the mentoring. We working out. We do a diaphragm breath work. We thinking positive. We doing all these things. Going to the beach, grounding. We're doing all these things in less than 3 weeks. I'm gonna show you what I can do with them 3 people, and I want to show them. And the most beautiful thing about doing the healing retreat is I'm giving you the key to heal anything, because now that you heal, you're going to help somebody else heal from your so-called disease. That's what my stage 4 breast cancer client, she's going around the world helping other people heal from stage 4. Same thing with my HIV client, same thing with HSV2. So it's the point of paying it forward. When I'm in that casket and everybody's looking at my body, I want to be known for something. I want to leave behind something. You know what I'm saying?
So is it mental healing and physical healing? You do mental healing and physical healing, emotional healing? Like what
everything. All together: mental, physical, emotional, spiritual. Even if you deal with metaphysics, even if you deal with astral projecting. Listen, I've been there, done that. I've seen a lot of supernatural things in my lifetime. You might say something that you might think is crazy that nobody else seen before. I've been there, done that. So whatever you come at me with, just know I've been there, done that, and I'm gonna help you get through it. A lot of people are possessed with certain demons and devils. I help people get cast out from that. I tell people, listen, you got to be careful about what people is giving you as gifts. A lot of these dream catchers and stuff like that, and like just use your spiritual discernment and go in your house. Even, I'm gonna be honest with you, it can even be a cross. The scripture speaks about things made with wood and stone. It's a little night owls, frogs, a lot of people who's into Egyptian studies, a lot of statues, a lot of things that somebody can give you. You have to know who that person is, know what their spirit is looking like before you allow something in your temple, which is your house. So if you want to cast out these demons and stuff, that's the first step. Second step is get into the frugal lifestyle. You know, these parasites is the devil. Is robbing you for minerals. The devil means deceiver. He's robbing you. So devil means deceiver. These parasites is deceiving. Is swimming up to your nervous system and taking over your brain. We got to do heavy metal cleanses, parasite cleanses, lymphatic cleanses. Get rid of all the Febreze, the glade. Get yourself some frankincense and myrrh. Open your windows up. Let all that bad energy out. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so one of the first things that I do in the mornings is I wake up, I thank God for the day, and then I turn on my salt lamp. So it's interesting that you talked about the pink Himalayan salts, because I have one by my bed. And my lamp my diffuser has myrrh in it, and I light a frankincense incense. So it's so interesting that you say that, because those are kind of how I start my day, with those 2 fragrances, because I know that they're good for meditation. So wow, I was about to run and get My son bought me one of the most nastiest detoxes when we were doing our cleanse. It's called activated charcoal, coconut
Activated
charcoal, bitter, huh?
Yeah, it's good.
Uh, well, that it definitely is, I guess, good for you, but it sure don't taste good for you. I think
Now
it's bit.
remember, I want to tell you this. It's not you that don't like the taste. It's the parasites that don't like the taste. Because we want to drink Kool-Aid and eat Twinkies. But the parasites, they love the Twinkies. So the thing is,
Keep talking.
when you at night, when you're trying to go to sleep at night and you get woken up and you want something sweet, that's not you. It's the parasites in you that want something sweet. If you've been diagnosed with anemia, you got irritable bowel syndrome, you got itchy anus, watery eyes, all these are signs of the body being infested with parasites, and they leave behind microscopic eggs. Yeah, go ahead.
No, keep talking. I just was showing y'all the bottle. This is so if I understand you correctly, you just said to me that it's the parasites in my body that think that thing is nasty, not really technically.
Yeah, it ain't you. Even though you might, because remember, you can get acquired to the taste, and you know it's beneficial for you, so therefore you're gonna keep drinking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is, because I finished the whole bottle. That's actually my second bottle, because I'm like, I like to do like a weekly flush. So like after the weekend on Mondays, that's like my little weekly to keep it going. Wow. So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I wanted you to keep talking, but I was just putting the bottle up to the camera. Yizzreal, go ahead.
In conclusion, whatever lifestyle y'all decide to do, whatever diet y'all decide to get on, just remember, you have to eliminate before you accumulate. If you go travel to Hawaii or the Philippines, eat all the seafood and all the hog maws and all the macaroni, don't let that sit in your stomach. Because guess what? You're going to get constipated, it's going to putrefy, create abnormal cells, and you're going to be sluggish and tired and weak. And you're going to feed the parasites in your body. So we got to do parasite cleanses, heavy metal cleanses. I think every family should have one day out of the week just to do something holistic or follow the frugal lifestyle. Just give it a try. One day out of the week, say, hey, everybody, today, we're not eating no meat, no fish, no soy, no dairy, no gluten. We're going to try to follow this frugal lifestyle because we have another generation after us that depends on us.
You know what? I used to have meatless Mondays. And so you know what? That's gonna be my Monday. That'll be my day. Going forward, because I take that on Mondays anyways now, right? So I'll just go ahead, take that, have a frugal lifestyle. So yeah, I'm with it. That's good information. So guys, you guys pick a date and do what's best for you, because Cola said it earlier, mind, body, and soul. And that's really what it's all about. When we get those things into alignment, you feel better, you look better. You know, people tend to focus on their outer, but a lot of it starts with our inner. Yes. All right. Well,
And
look.
what do we got to do? We got to defeat the inner me. The inner me. Everybody talk about the enemy. No, this is the devil. That's the devil. The inner me is within us. We got to defeat the inner me.
Said that last week. Say that like those exact words. The inner me. Yes.
Okay, before we let you go, you have given us a lot of information. And before you let us go, can you give us something that's kind of simple, but just like a big power punch move that we could do or incorporate into our lives that we could carry with us, that would be sort of transformative?
So remember I told you about the video, because I want y'all to keep that with you. How to Start a Healthy Lifestyle, Phil Coffer, Phil Coffer, Coffer. Watch both of them videos, study both of them videos, because we're doing everything in them videos. But with the message I can leave y'all with, stay in contact with me. Don't wait till the last minute till the doctor say you got 2 weeks to live, and we told you 2 weeks ago, get your life together. We gotta stop waiting. We gotta stop being distracted and waiting to the last minute to do something. Again, I know the reason why we eat like this is because of our emotions. I know when you get high, what kind of foods you crave for. So in reality, to answer your question, what I can leave y'all with is stay in contact with me. I'm always available. Text my phone and don't wait till the last minute.
I got you. And you'll be back. We'll figure out the next day, because this, like, look at, like, yeah, right. We look, where is the hand clap? Can I play the hand clap on this?
Yes.
Yeah, I can't even get the hand clap to play like I wanted to, but that's okay, because this was awesome, Yizzreal. Listen, I'm so glad we met, and I'm glad you walked up to me, because we was in Ybor City, so it was a whole bunch of people down there. So it was I believe in divine connections. It was no accident that you came up to me, especially because I be having my rest and be face on, so people don't always come up to me. So.
And as I mentioned before, more sapiosexuals should team up with sapiosexuals and create something like this, because I've been there, done that. When I meet somebody, I ask where your mind at, because I know the mind is a very powerful thing, and I have an old soul. So I know you have a next generation after you. You did a lot for people. I can see that within you without even talking to you. So the reason why I got your information and we stayed in contact, because it's all about building with our community, and that's what I'm all about.
Well, I'll tell you what, like I said, y'all know I'm not a bandwagon jumper. I don't jump on every idea somebody throw out there. A lot of times I'm the antagonist. You know what I mean? But I mean, what Yizzreal has said, it backs up a lot of things that I've studied. Like I said, it backs up a lot of things that I studied, but the main two things that is not in correlation with the things that I've studied, and I mean studied on a professional level and education wise, the two things that are left out is the connection of emotions and the connection of the nutrition. He brings in and he connects the emotion and the nutrition, and that is really what makes it full circle, holistic, mind, body, and soul health. He's on it. This holistic lifestyle, he is on it. He is on it.
Okay. All right. I know we could go on and on. Yizzreal, me and you'll talk. We'll figure out the next time to bring you back on, because I know there's more that you can share. And even on the culture, there's some things that I'm sure that you can talk about on I had a suggestion about having a conversation on Black culture and its impact on society. I feel you could even add some value to that, so you could very well be my guest for that conversation.
Because we didn't even dig into the chosen people that he has thrown out there every night. We didn't even dig into that, but I caught it. We didn't even dig into
I caught it too. But he was on. We was here tonight. So look, I'm gonna do this with much love and gratitude. I thank each and every one of you guys for joining. I didn't intend to go this long, but when the conversation is good, you just let it go. Just like, even I did have some topics. There was, Kendrick's performance at the Super Bowl. There was some shenanigans at the Grammy that I want to talk about. So we just gonna say those things for next week. But again, if you are not part of our community, I invite you to please subscribe, and so you'll receive future notifications, and give us a thumbs up as we are trying to expand our reach and what we're doing and bring on more guests like Yizzreal. And we will be back here same time, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time on next Wednesday. And also, I am going to leave you all with this quote. The way to right wrongs is to turn the light of truth upon them, by Ida B. Wells. So to you all, peace and love until the next time. You all be blessed. Thanks again, Shelly,
Y'all be
Cola,
safe
and
out there.
Yizzreal.
Everybody.
Appreciate you guys.
I'll see you later.
Bye, Yizzreal. Girl, he's on point. Are we off?
Hold on. Okay, we off.
He is on point.